You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Last night's rain trickles over into a Sunday afternoon. The haze of early fall lingers on the leaves in late September. It's a stay-inside kind of day, which makes for soccer weather at its finest. Braving these elements are the Ball State Cardinals, fresh off its first conference victory, and Eastern Michigan, with a 0 in the MAC win column looming like the gray skies over its head. It's the Cardinals and the Eagles, NCAA Women's Soccer on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie, as we welcome you inside the booth here at Briner Sports Complex. Sam Neiger alongside Evan Stowell. Evan, it's not necessarily the greatest weather for late September, but nonetheless, it's going to be a great match between the Cards and the Eagles.
It really is, Sam, but this weather really makes for great soccer. You know, they say in racing that weather is the great equalizer, but that applies to soccer and a lot of other sports as well. It was raining just a few minutes ago. It's starting to clear up, but this turf is still going to be slick. It's going to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, not exactly spitting rain like it was about a half hour ago, but still not the greatest conditions. Nonetheless, we're going to have a ton of fun throughout the next couple of hours. I do want to chat about Ball State. They didn't have a win in Mid-American Conference play through its first two matches. Then earlier this week, it went on the road against the Akron Zips, got it done in a 1-0 victory. What was your biggest takeaway from that first MAC win for the Cards?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway was that it's important that they got that first win, but they didn't do it in an incredible fashion. They only won 1-0. They struggled offensively, only got 13 shots, 7 of those on goal. So far, the MAC Conference play has been really a tough point of contention for the Cardinals, and the reason I'm surprised is because going into MAC play, you had Queens and IU Indy. In those games, they scored 7 goals and 6 goals respectively. This is a team that had 13 goals in their last 2 games going into MAC play. Since then, they've had 1 goal in their last 3 games.
Well, you think 13 shots against Akron was low. How about 11 shots in a 0-0 draw last time out for Eastern Michigan? They drew 1-1 in Ypsilanti against Toledo. All things considered, though, a pretty solid performance for Eastern Michigan. They seem to have made improvements from last year to this year.
They really have, and quite frankly, Sam, I told you this pregame before we got going. A 4-4-2 start for this team really isn't bad at all. They've had 2 ties so far in MAC play and 1 loss coming up against Buffalo, but those 2 ties were a 2-2 score line against Central Michigan, and then obviously 0-0 last time out against Toledo. But I think there's a lot to build on for Eastern Michigan. I think their start to MAC play has been pretty good, but as you mentioned, they've struggled to get offense generated.
Well, they've struggled for about the past decade, have the Eagles. They've been one of the bottom-rung teams in the Mid-American Conference. They've got a new head coach this year in Taylor Klug. He's trying to flip the script on what this program is, but still a slow start to MAC play for them. Maybe a less expected slow start was that for Ball State. 1-2 in conference play now. Why did the Cardinals struggle in those first 2 games against Bowling Green and then Kent State?
I think they got too comfortable going into MAC play. I think they played, with all due respect to IU, Indy, and Queens, I think they played easier opponents than they wanted to, and I think those last 2 games did not challenge the Cardinals going into MAC play. I think MAC play has been a wake-up call for them. They've struggled to get that offense that we saw in the first couple of matches continue to go here in the Mid-American Conference. So for Ball State, they've been struggling. For Eastern Michigan, I've actually been pretty impressed. I think their defense is pretty solid. But as you mentioned, this historically hasn't been a great program. The last time they beat Ball State was in 2019, and they only have 2 wins against the Cardinals since 2012.
So you've got 2 teams that have really struggled on the offensive side of the ball. So what are we going to do? Highlight 2 offensive players as our impacts. And I want to start with Eastern Michigan. There's really only been 1 player that has kind of jumped off the page throughout the entirety of this year. It's Olivia Sipsock.
Yeah, the sophomore from Medina, Ohio. Olivia Sipsock has 4 goals on the season. She's been able to generate offense pretty much by herself. She'll get in those one-on-one situations with the goalkeeper. Very technical around the net. Has lots of skill moves to her at her disposal. She's been pretty fantastic.
And a groggy last couple of games offensively for Ball State, but they still have a lot more options on the offensive side of the ball. Really, you can go a wide variety of different directions with who you want the impact to be. Who did you eventually settle on, Evan?
You know, I eventually settled on Delaney Caldwell, but as you mentioned, Sam, this is a team that has a charcuterie board of options. You just don't know who to pick. They have so many different players that can attack and do it at a high level. Delaney Caldwell, though, stands out to me. 6 goals, 5 assists, and those 5 assists are really what I want to focus on. She does a fantastic job getting the rest of her team involved.
Yeah, 17 total points for Caldwell, but it's not just about the individuals in terms of Sipsock and Caldwell. It's going to be a team effort if either of these squads wants to come away with a win. Again, we'll go with the Eagles first. What do they need to do to play spoiler on the road?
For Eastern Michigan, it's crazy that we're going to talk about a team that didn't score in their last one, but I want to continue to see defense because I think that will actually generate into offense. They have a turf here at the Briner Sports Complex. Because of that wet weather that came in just a few minutes before game time, it's going to be slick. It's going to present an opportunity for Eastern Michigan to use the counterattack to their advantage and play those through balls, which are going to travel a lot farther in these conditions.
Well, then for Ball State, they've got a little momentum. They've got the home field advantage. How do they take care of business at home?
for Ball State, you have to try to use that trifecta up front of Avery Fenchel, obviously Delaney Caldwell, who we just talked about, and then Emily Roper, who's 6'2". She does fantastic if you get a ball into the box, and she can put a head on it. So that's the key for the Ball State Cardinals. You have to find a way to get that attack regenerated.
Yeah, that attack for Ball State and that formation looks like 4-2-3-1 for Eastern Michigan. They run a traditional 4-4-2. It's going to be interesting to see how those formations clash towards as we draw closer to the start of this game. Speaking of which, time is winding down on the scoreboard here at Briner Sports Complex. We'll have the anthem in just a couple of minutes, but until then, we're going to step aside. Sam Neiger and Evan Stowell on the SL Digital Radio pregame show presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Don't go anywhere. We've got soccer on the other side.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Pay-Per-Go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is Sports Link Digital.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Pay-Per-Go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pride Mark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
70 degrees and cloudy with a light rain spitting on and off throughout the day. A subtle breeze blowing north to south from McGalliard towards our press box. Sam Neiger joined by Evan Stowell. We've just about got soccer here moments away, which means it's time for the starting lineups. And we will begin with the visitors in the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Building out of the back, the defenders, Sam Lanahan, Scarlett Thomas, Sarah Van Ewen, and Rosalie Takasi. The midfielders, 4 of them as well. Sophia Diambra, Maddie O'Farrell, Sakura Johnson, and Kate Robinson. And then the 2 strikers, you're looking at forwards Cameron Susie and Olivia Sipstock. In net for Eastern Michigan is Ella Holland. Then on the Ball State side of things, building out of the back, Jordan Jeffers, Acadia Murphy, Audrey Goodyear, Delaney Ahern, and Maya Millis listed as the 5 defenders. The midfielders, Caitlin Frazier and Addie Chester, and then the slew of forwards who are scoring threats across the board. You've got Avery Frenchel, Delaney Caldwell, our impact player, and Emily Roper. In net for the Cardinals, Grace Konopatsky. And that will do it for the starting lineups as the teams join their fellow players over on the benches for some pregame huddles, last-minute notes, some tips and tricks from the coaches before we get rolling. But, Evan, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun Sunday afternoon match. Why not? Let's make the most of a rainy Sunday.
Absolutely, Sam, and it's going to be really exciting to watch these 2 teams who play completely different formations go up against each other. The Eastern Michigan Eagles play a 4-4-2, a traditional lineup in soccer, and then for Ball State, you see the 4-3-2-1. That creates triangles all over the field. It creates a lot of attacking options, but it can give up the counter attack.
Certainly something that Ball State has struggled against as of late is the counter attack, especially when they're not having the offensive production that we are accustomed to seeing from them. Since Mid-American Conference play opened, the Cardinals are 1-2, as we mentioned. They began MAC play here at home with a 2-0 loss against Bowling Green, then a 1-0 loss at Kent State. They had their first victory in Mid-American Conference play at Akron earlier this week on Thursday. They won that match 1-0. Then for Eastern Michigan, since conference play opened, still no wins, as we talked about, but 2 ties, including a 2-2 draw with Central Michigan in Ypsilanti, then a 1-0 loss at Buffalo a week ago, and then also on Thursday, they played Toledo, where they drew 0-0. Cardinals have taken the field, and it appears that they are going to have the opening kickoff to get us rolling. Up at the top of the circle is Caitlin Frazier and Acadia Murphy to have the first touch for the Cardinals. Ball State in their traditional all-white uniforms at home, the red accents, the black numerals. Eastern Michigan in their away black jerseys, green accents with the white numerals as we await the opening whistle from our officials in purple. A rainy Sunday afternoon, but the Cardinals and Eagles will put their best foot forward nonetheless. There is the opening whistle, and we are underway from Briner Sports Complex. Ball State starts with a pass out to Delaney Caldwell to the far side, trying to build out of the back quickly, and she lets it go on the first pass. It's picked up by Jordan Jeffers. She tries to touch it forward to Roper. Now a little triangle, like Evan Stowell was already talking about, forming out of the back for Ball State. Ball trickles to midline at Acadia Murphy, and she will reset. Ball State moves to the far side of the pitch. Caldwell is pressed in on, separating her from the ball with Sam Lenahan. Cardinals able to regain possession on the far side. Right around midline, Caitlin Frazier drops it back to the center defender. It's Delaney Ahern. Played forward up near the right side. It's the 2 captains, but the ball is lost back to Eastern Michigan. Losing her footing, moving the other way, was Olivia Sipsock. That is our impact player for Eastern Michigan. Cardinals able to regain possession over on the far side of the pitch. And pushing forward is Maya Millis up the left side. Towards midline. No defenders closing down on her yet. She has a little bit of space. Plays it forward to Caldwell. Caldwell tries to touch it to Roper into the middle of the pitch. Still only about 2/3 of the way forward. No offensive chances yet as Eastern Michigan wins it back and sends it the other way. Back to midline. Playing kickball at this point. Neither side has been able to nail down any type of possession that has lasted for more than a few seconds. Ball is brought down by Sakura Johnson for Eastern Michigan. Delaney Caldwell wins it back and touches it back to Maya Millis. Millis on the far side of the pitch plays it back once more, and the ball trickles all the way back to Konopatsky. Moving up the pitch on the right side, Ahern drops it back to Konopatsky. A little pressure forward from Olivia Sipstock, just trying to let Konopatsky know that she is there. Ahern in the middle of the defensive third, plays it forward to Roper. Ball finds the feet of Jordan Jeffers here on the near side, just trying to work a triangle out of the back right corner. She sends it forward. Not a whole lot of movement off ball from Ball State right now. Battling forward here on the near side is Addie Chester. She's able to win it back for the Cardinals. She drops it back to Jordan Jeffers, trying to work a triangle again. Touches it forward, not able to find the feet of Caitlin Frazier. Frazier able to win it back. She'll send it back towards the midline with Jordan Jeffers. Addie Chester on the near side, the points leader for Ball State. Finds the feet of Fenchel, who touches the ball for the first time, but it is won away by Eastern Michigan's Maddie O'Farrell, the senior midfielder and forward from Hazlitt, Michigan. She switches play all by herself to the other side, but Caldwell touches it back and separates it from her. Caldwell to Fenchel, back to Caldwell on the give and go. Now striking towards that left side corner. Is she able to beat her with speed? She is not, as she tries to send it across, but it's deflected out of bounds. It'll be a Ball State corner.
Yeah, great start so far here for Ball State as far as controlling possession goes. For Eastern Michigan, when they win the ball back, the problem they're having is their other forward, number 29, Kate Robinson, is really playing as more of a midfielder, and that's leaving Sipsock all alone at the front. So Eastern Michigan has no one to play it back to without the Cardinals getting there to hound them defensively.
Ball State sets up for the short corner on the far side. It is Caldwell who takes it. She taps it to Chester. Chester dribbles toward the end line and tries to send in a ball low. Not a ton of power, and it's deflected out of bounds. Last touched by Eastern Michigan. Sarah Van Ewen was the one who sent it out of bounds as Ball State prepares for the throw on the far side. Millis sends it in. Ball State retains possession. Ball's played forward to Chester, who is way out of position over there on the left side. She went over to take the corner. She's usually at that right midfield position. And Eastern Michigan wins it back. That noise you're hearing in the background is not thunder. That is the speakers here at Briner Sports Complex. So play will continue as it's passed forward to Roper. Roper separated from the ball. Maddie O'Farrell regains possession for Eastern Michigan. She's had a good game. We've called her name a lot here in just the first 4 minutes. Eastern Michigan not able to retain possession. They play it forward to Millis, who wins it back for the Cardinals in the offensive third. Ball's touched forward by Delaney Caldwell, and it trickles into the gloves of the Eastern Michigan goalkeeper, Ella Holland. She started all 10 matches, the transfer from Samford, and she has been a rock between the pipes for the Eagles. Her service out of the back is won by Emily Roper for Ball State. Now here on the near side, with 40 minutes and 33 seconds to go, still no score. It's at the foot of Holland. Holland plays it in front of goal. A risky pass, and the danger is cleared for the moment. Roper able to try and clean up the scraps. Now pushing forward for Ball State is Acadia Murphy. Way out of the back. She tries to touch a ball forward to Fenchel, but she is taken down from behind just outside the 18-yard box as the official blows the whistle dead, and now a free kick in a dangerous spot for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and this is just going to be the reward of what's been a good attack so far here from Ball State. They haven't had any shots on goal yet, but they've controlled possession. They've done a good job of finding those triangles, and they've only given it up in their front third a couple of times.
No true challenges yet for Ella Holland, but she made a risky pass to Sam Lanahan that almost resulted in Emily Roper cleaning up the scraps for what would have been a nice Ball State goal. Now a four-person wall right in front of goal. This ball is just outside the half crescent outside the 18-yard box. Lining up to take the free kick for the Cardinals is Acadia Murphy. Murphy stutters. She'll back away, and now here is the shot off the wall. Here's a second chance, rattled into the box. Both sides fighting for it, and eventually Eastern Michigan's able to clear the danger. Last one to touch that away was Scarlett Thomas for the Eagles. Ball State able to retain possession in their defensive half. They'll build out of the back once more. We've seen a lot of success from the Cardinals so far. After a couple of minutes of settling in, now with 39 minutes and 12 seconds to go, Ball State seems to have a little more poise on the ball, a little better possession, a little better retention of possession as well, as we still sit 0-0. Now here's a ball from Caldwell forward to Chester. Chester to Roper. Roper back to Chester. Ball's deflected up high into the 18-yard box, and coming off her mark to snag it out of the air was Ella Holland. Holland has certainly been peppered more than Konopatsky, but still no shots have fallen her way. A booming punt sends it forward, just trying to clear the danger right now. Roper's the first head on it at 6'2". No surprises there. She's the tallest player on the field. Chester tried to get a touch on it, but instead it's deflected out of bounds. It'll be an Eastern Michigan throw here on the near side. This is their left side. Rosalie Takasi will do the throw-in duties. Eastern Michigan moving right to left across your radio dial. Ball State left to right. Ball's headed down off the throw-in and touched out of bounds by Jordan Jeffers. She was trying to find Addie Chester.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see play get even sloppier here in the next couple of minutes as the rain has continued to fall. It looks like it's come back and joined us here at the Bryner Sports Complex.
The weather did look like it was going to hold off at least until 3 o'clock before it started raining again, but with the cloud cover that we've got, there's no telling how much rain we're going to see by the end of the day, and it is starting to come down pretty hard. We're seeing some umbrellas come out in the stands here at Bryner Sports Complex. A decent turnout. It is Alumni Day here for Ball State. Jordan Jeffers the throw-in. She finds Fenchel. Fenchel with a defender on her back. She drops it back. Caitlin Frazier moving up the right side now into the offensive third. A triangle between Frazier, Jeffers, and Fenchel. And eventually Frazier decides to switch the play. Ball State moving out of the left side into the offensive half now. Ball is played forward unsuccessfully and out of bounds.
Yeah, and right now a struggle for both of these teams with keeping possession as they get kind of caught up on one side of the field. They're not able to move it east to west through the middle like you want them to. So far for the Ball State Cardinals and Eastern Michigan, they normally stay on either the right or left side depending on where the ball is being possessed.
Inside 37 minutes to go here in half number 1. Still no score between the Cardinals and the Eagles. Eastern Michigan trying to find some possession of their own. Trying to work a triangle on the far side right about midline. Coming down with it for the Eagles was Sophia Diambra. She tries to send a ball forward. Able to get a foot on it that time was our impact player, Olivia Sipsock, but not able to possess that ball. It went off the inside of her foot and just escaped her grasp before going all the way into the 18-yard box where Konopatsky does the cleanup duty no problem.
Yeah, but I like the aggressive nature of that through ball from Cameron Susi. She tried to get it up to Sipsock. They tried to get her open with some space in front of her, but unfortunately just too far past her.
Ball State builds out of the back once more. Addie Chester here on the near side. Defender on her back. She dribbles it back and finds Roper. Roper really stretching her role. She can push all the way up to the 18-yard box on the offensive side. She can move all the way back to the defensive side as Eastern Michigan retains possession. Cameron Susi dancing around 3 defenders. She's able to find Diambra with a little bit of space in the middle of the field. Moving into the offensive third, she's got a wide open Kate Robinson in front of her. Best attacking chance we've seen so far for Eastern Michigan as they send it over to the far side. Sam Lanahan in the far side corner, and she's not able to get a foot on it in time to let it slip out of bounds. That ball is moving on the wet turf.
Yeah, Sam, this is where it actually hinders you a little bit with the ball moving. If you're not playing the through balls out of the back and you try to play them from the middle third up to the attacking third in this weather on the turf, the ball is just going to slide out of bounds more times than not.
35-22 to play here in the first half. Still no score between Ball State and Eastern Michigan. The Cardinals coming off their first win in Mid-American Conference play earlier this week against Akron. Eastern Michigan still looking for their first conference victory. Ball's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Caldwell right about the offensive third line for Eastern Michigan. It'll be an Eagles throw. Trying to retain possession. Caldwell battling for it on the far side. Bodies hit the deck. Caldwell's able to get up and send it forward, but not before the official blows the whistle.
Yeah, and you mentioned Roper earlier. You talked about how she's able to kind of expand her role and go from playing in that forward position back to that defensive position. It reminds me of in high school during her state tournament run. She got hurt. Her right foot was injured, and she managed to play defense for the entirety of it and managed to lead the Carmel Greyhounds to the 2022 state championship.
Uh-oh, this kid went to Carmel. Not afraid to give it a shout-out. I don't blame you. One of the premier programs in terms of public schools in the state of Indiana. And Josh Reif has turned a great recruit in Emily Roper into a stellar college player. Eastern Michigan has possession in their defensive third. Scarlett Thomas moves it forward. Her pass is intercepted by Maya Millis. Millis now not able to settle that ball down, and she gives it back to Eastern Michigan on the far side. Moving up towards the midline, and there's a ball sent forward, but again, nobody in the zip code as it trickles all the way into the 18 for Konopatsky. The only one in the right vicinity there for Eastern Michigan was Olivia Sipsock. She is just trying to play opportunistic soccer right now at the top of the 18, see if she can't get a ball forward. It is yet to be successful yet. Konopatsky with a little pressure from Sipstock, works it to the far side. Audrey Goodyear, the left back, sends it forward to Maya Millis. Millis touches it forward to Fenchel. A looping ball is played out of bounds by Sarah Van Ewen. She has been tasked with playing against, or with matching up rather, against the fiery Avery Fenchel. That's going to be a physical battle to watch all afternoon long, especially as play is going to start to get sloppier. The rain has gone from a sprinkle to a spit with 33 minutes to go here in the first half and still no score. Throw in on the far side for Eastern Michigan in their defensive third, right in front of the Payless advertisement on the McGalliard side of Briner Sports Complex. Ball is touched down for Kate Robinson of Eastern Michigan, and she touches it to the far side. Better possession now for the Eagles, but as soon as I say that, of course, they give it away. The team in black, that is Eastern Michigan, able to retain possession once more. Sakura Johnson right at midfield, able to touch it forward, showing off a little speed now, dancing around those Ball State defenders. She plays it to the top of the 18, an attempt at a give and go. Nobody's able to get there to clean up the scraps. Here is a shot deflected off of the hand of Ball State's Jordan Jeffers. It was a great swing from Cameron Susi, but it did appear that Jordan Jeffers had her arm at her side, despite the fact that it did deflect off of her.
Yeah, you saw pleas there from Cameron Susi saying that was a handball in the box. The referee does not give it to Eastern Michigan, so it'll be a corner.
All of a sudden, Eastern Michigan threatening. They've got a corner here on the near side. It's going to be taken by Kate Robinson. She sends it in. It is high. There's some players on the far post. That's where the ball trickles to. And Konopatsky has to dive for it, not able to get possession as Sophia D'Ambra ran straight into her. I would have thought the officials might have said something about that, but nonetheless, they'll just award Ball State the goal kick.
Yeah, and Sam, it seems like a lack of communication so far here from the back line for Ball State. They had that ball just kind of trickle into the box, and neither of the two center backs for the Cardinals were able to get to it, even though it was right in front of both of their feet.
Don't want to defend Ball State there, but this was the first time that Eastern Michigan has attacked them, so it's just trying to get settled into that defensive rhythm that they've been used to seeing against teams like Bowling Green and Kent State, who beat them over the past couple of weeks. 31.5 minutes to play in half number one as the ball sent into the box from Eastern Michigan. Cleared away. A lot of white jerseys back right now for the Cardinals. It has been a big shift over the past 5 minutes or so, and Eastern Michigan continues to put the pace. Off the throw-in, Kate Robinson gets the first touch. Ball State clears the danger, at least for now. It's up to Fenchel. She's got to win the header. She does. She gets the first touch, but it falls to the feet of Thomas for Eastern Michigan. Now trying to switch the play over here to the near side. A lot more space to work with. Cameron Susi with the ball at her feet. She's defended by Jordan Jeffers. Touches it into the middle, and nobody home for Eastern Michigan. Ball State's able to get to it. Audrey Goodyear sends it the other way, and eventually it's Delaney Caldwell who has the ball sent, or excuse me, Maya Millis that sends the ball out of bounds for Ball State. Back over to the far side of play as fog starts to settle over the field here at Briner Sports Complex. It feels like late September, starting to see a couple of red leaves, some yellow leaves on the trees across the road at McGalliard. Perfect soccer weather. I think these players are probably just happy that it's not snowing yet as Ball State moves into the offensive third. Fenchel tries to touch it towards Caldwell to the outside on her left, but it is intercepted. I've seen some good one-on-one defending from Eastern Michigan as they're able to win the ball back and try and turn it into a counter-attacking chance. Sophia D'Ambra wasn't able to get a foot on it in time, though. Now it's at the foot of Sakura Johnson. She touches it out to the far side. It seems that right side is where Eastern Michigan wants to attack out of the most. Ball up for grabs right around midline right now. Thomas settles it down. As Ball State's able to win possession back. Now over to the far side, Audrey Goodyear. Moving to her left, and that's a great win for Eastern Michigan. A solid challenge right now as players hit the deck, and that was a two-handed shove from Audrey Goodyear. And that's a pretty easy call for the officials to make with Sakura Johnson pushing forward.
Yeah, and I like the adjustment to send more of your players up towards the front. Earlier, it was just Sipsock up there by herself in the attacking third. They've sent 2 or 3 more players. They've had some of their midfielders start to push up, so they're not holding back so much in that 4-4-2 configuration.
Well, can you tell that Ball State's mindset has shifted? They have every player inside the 18-yard box. A 2-person wall as Eastern Michigan sets up a free kick from the 18-yard box extended all the way near the touchline on the far side. Lining up to take the kick is Rosalie Takasi. All but 2 Eastern Michigan players in the box. Here comes the service with the left, right in front of the 6-yard box, headed away by Roper. That's where the height comes in in handy, but Eastern Michigan gets possession back. Now here's a reservice up to the top of the 18. Nobody home for Eastern Michigan, and it's cleared away by Maya Millis. It's going to go all the way back to the keeper, Holland, for Eastern Michigan. A third of the way up the pitch. She settles it at her feet and sends it over to the near side now, but a nice interception for Ball State and Jordan Jeffers. Both teams seem to be winning the offensive battle on their respective right sides. Ball State has liked attacking up the near side of the field. That is their right side near the press box here at Briner Sports Complex. Eastern Michigan very comfortable moving up the far side of the pitch. That's their right side near McGalliard Road. A hospital ball sent into the 18-yard box and picked up by Grace Konopatsky. 28 minutes exactly left to play in this first half. 0-0, and the rain continues to pour, harder than it has really all day long. Still no trouble yet for the goalkeepers, but you do have to wonder if that isn't going to play a factor at some point. Off the punt from Konopatsky, it's headed down by Roper. Ball is won and touched away by Rosalie Takasi. Out of bounds. Deflected off of Jordan Jeffers here on the near side. She was battling with Cameron Susie.
Neither team right now is able to hold possession for very long, probably due to the weather, but they're just giving it away in the middle of the field.
Certainly an adjustment. This is not weather that either team prefers to play in, nor do they have a lot of experience playing it. Maya Millis has to come forward off of a ball that did not have a lot of pop on it from Acadia Murphy, and she's forced to just clear the danger out of bounds just over the midline for Eastern Michigan on their offensive half. Moving from the far side of the pitch, that is their right side, right on the touchline. Ball sent in to the feet of Kate Robinson. She tries to look towards the corner. She had Olivia Sipsock on the run, but good defense back there from Maya Millis. Wearing the captain's armband on her right arm, her left arm. As Ball State is doing everything they can to try and separate Eastern Michigan from the ball right now, the Eagles have become a lot more comfortable with the ball at their feet as they lose possession here. Ball's touched away by Caitlin Frazier over to the near side. She was trying to find Addie Chester. A solid job by Eastern Michigan limiting Ball State's leading points scorer to as few touches as possible, but she's got the ball at her feet here. Addie Chester shows off the speed, goes to the far side corner, just outside the 18-yard box, tries to send the service in, but Rosalie Takasi able to intercept and deflect the ball out of bounds for what will be a corner.
And that is what Ball State has been missing this entire first half, is the ability to get it over to the wings, right or left side, Caldwell or Chester. It's a dynamic attack those two have. They're finally able to get it at the feet of Chester.
Ball State dominated the first 10 minutes. Eastern Michigan has had a lot more momentum over these past 10 minutes, Evan, and this is the best chance we've seen from Ball State in quite a while, with 25 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first half. Addie Chester lines up. She's going to go long on the corner this time. Here's the service. It is high to the back post. Not a lot of bodies there for Ball State. A lot of black jerseys, and it's cleared up pretty easily. Ball falls back to the foot of Jordan Jeffers. Jeffers recenters. She tries to find Roper streaking in. Nobody home, though, for the Cardinals. Moving the other way is Eastern Michigan now. A touch toward the near side on the left side of the offense for Eastern Michigan. Moving up the pitch is Cameron Susie. She almost loses possession on her pass to Sakura Johnson, and Johnson will reset and move things up the right side of the pitch as we've become accustomed to see Eastern Michigan doing. Sam Linehan loses possession on the far side for Eastern Michigan. It's been a good battle from Millis over there to win possession time and again for Ball State as they send it into the attacking half. It's at the foot of Addie Chester. Shows off the speed. Doesn't have a lot of people in front of her. A little bit of green grass. It's a tough angle. She dribbles into the 18-yard box. 2-on-1. She tries the shot. Service across goal, and nobody there for Ball State. Really a nice creative bit of work from Chester there. Far side. Ball has stayed in play, courtesy of the hustle from Delaney Caldwell, our impact player. Now Maya Millis sends it into the box. Only two people home. There's a header, and it's deflected just away wide right of the goal. I think it was Fenchel who actually got the touch on that. It was her and Chester just outside the 18-yard box.
Yeah, Ball State making good adjustments here later into this first half. They're finally starting to get the ball out wide to their left and right wings, respectively. Getting the ball to the feet of Addie Chester is never a bad idea.
What's been the difference in possession, in your opinion, Evan, over just these past couple of runs for Ball State compared to what we saw 10 minutes prior?
Well, I think the difference is instead of trying to jam it up the middle like they were earlier in the first half, they're now finally starting to get out wide. You got to move east to west sometimes in order to progress up the field. The Cardinals have done an excellent job of that in the last 5 minutes or so.
24 minutes to play here in the first half. Still 0-0 between the Cardinals and the Eagles. It's been a solid battle here in the sloppy weather in Muncie, Indiana. Throw in on the far side of the pitch. Ball State's half. Millis does the throw-in duties for the Cardinals. Up towards Caldwell, who sends it straight back out of bounds again, and we're going to have our first sub of the afternoon. It will be an Eastern Michigan sub, as Lily Spotak comes in to replace Maddie O'Farrell with 23.5 to play. Avery Fenchel wins the ball off the throw. She touches it over to Chester. 3 defenders home, but Chester's got the speed. Outside the 18-yard box. She dribbles in, takes a touch. On her right, now back to her left. She touches it over to Roper. Roper sends it back to the top of the 18. Now Eastern Michigan is able to handle. Turning it the other way, outside is Cameron Susi. She is closed down on by Jordan Jeffers. Now it's Roper to the top of the 18. Finds Fenchel. Fenchel tries to touch it around the defender. She has some space. Looks to Chester. Now she's taking it towards the touchline. Serves it back in high and off the crossbar. An unreal angle on the turnaround, but no goal this time as the woodwork did its job for Eastern Michigan and Ella Holland.
Yeah, when I first saw that shot, I thought that was for sure going to be a cross, but Avery Fenchel somehow managed to get a good angle on that one and put a really good shot on goal.
It has not been as productive of a year as we've seen in years past for Avery Fenchel as she chases the all-time goals record for Ball State, but nonetheless, she shows sparks of creativity there. The ball's at her feet once again after Ball State wins it back off the goal kick. Thought about lining a shot up from way downtown, instead touches it over to Roper. Roper now to the top of the 18. Chester's not able to get there. Roper heads it back and forth, falls to the feet of Chester. Chester takes a touch. Now she's heading towards the touchline, closing down the angle, and again, great on-ball defense from Rosalie Takasi. She's shutting down one of the best offensive players in the MAC.
She is, and I think the big problem right now for the Cardinals is Addie Chester is lining up she's not far enough to the right side of the pitch right now. She's a little too close to the other forwards, and that's allowing that Eastern Michigan to condense their defense in that 18-yard box and close down those possible shooting angles, and that's been very successful so far here in the first half.
Chester takes a quick corner out to Maya Millis, who's pushed over to the right side. She tries to send in a ball from deep, but the service is a little too steep for anybody there for Ball State. I know Roper's 6'2", but she can't climb the ladder for that. It goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
Right now, the weather is playing a factor as far as stamina goes. It's always easier to play in the rain. It cools you right off, so that's why we've probably only seen one substitute so far here in the first half.
Just over 24 minutes gone by here in the first half as Ball State gets possession with Addie Chester again to the top of the 18. And there are just too many black jerseys closing in on her. Not able to get as much space as she's usually accustomed to. Chester, of course, the transfer from Louisville, came back home. She's a Muncie local, a Delta High School product. 21:06 to play as Ball State builds out of the back with Konopatsky. She sends a booming ball forward towards Roper. Roper gets a touch, deflected off the defender in Takasi, and she's able to win possession. We've called her name a lot. Rosalie Takasi, the Orchard Park, New York native. She started every game this year and proving why today. One of the best on-ball outside backs in the Mid-American Conference. Addie Chester, near side, tries to touch it to the inside. And that's a great slide tackle from Takasi. Chester might not be happy about that, but that was all ball on a great challenge. Now Eastern Michigan pushing the other way here up the near side of the pitch. A back-and-forth battle as Chester has it in the offensive third for Ball State. Now Fenchel tries to touch it out to Roper. Instead, she sends it to Takasi. Just back and forth kickball right now. No side can seem to find any sort of settlement. Jeffers pushed way up and not able to hold on to the ball in her own right either. Kate Robinson brings it down here on the near side of the pitch, the side closest to the Briner Sports Complex for Eastern Michigan. Stepping forward to win the ball is Sophia Diambra. And she sends it over to the far side for Eastern Michigan where nobody's there. The whole Eastern Michigan lineup seemed to have pushed over to the near side, their left side, over the past couple of minutes where they had a lot of success in the first few chances up the right side. Off the bench, it's Lily Spotak. She loses the ball in a nice challenge from Ball State's Audrey Goodyear. Now it's Acadia Murphy, sends it over to the right side. Jeffers has to run up to get it. She's got the hustle and she's got the space. Touches it around one defender. She's lining up against Cameron Susi. Touches it forward to Chester, near the touchline on the far side. She has that space that you were talking about, Evan. And now she's got the speed. Towards the goal line again, and once more. A great challenge to touch it out of bounds for another corner from Rosalie Takasi.
Yeah, and I don't know, Sam, it's a Sunday, so we'll make a football reference here.
Heck
Josh
yeah.
Norman, Odell Beckham-esque rivalry going on right now between Addie Chester and Rosalie Takasi.
That one was from the vault, too. That was nice.
2014.
That's not your average reference, as here comes the corner. It's played in, touched by Roper. She just wasn't able to get the strike on it that she wanted, and the danger is cleared by Eastern Michigan with a whole lot of black jerseys back.
And Sam, right now what Eastern Michigan is struggling with when they are able to regain possession is they're all clumped up in the same area, and they're not able to play some of those outlet balls and get out of danger.
18 minutes, 30 seconds to play in what has turned into a pretty stormy first half. Everything but the Lightning at this point, as it's getting hard to even see McGalliard Road past the end of Briner Sports Complex. Lots of fog, lots of haze. Pushing forward for the Cardinals is Delaney Caldwell. Not able to hold on to the ball for more than a few seconds as Eastern Michigan wins it back. Now pushing out of the back is Maya Millis for Ball State. She touches it forward to Roper, who finds Caldwell. Caldwell dispossessed. Sent forward now to Avery Fenchel. Eastern Michigan reeling on the defensive side. Here's a shot from distance from Caldwell, and it's hauled in with ease from Ella Holland. She barely had to shift to her left to grab that one out of the air. Holland taking her time before she sends this ball away. Another booming punt. She has not wanted to build out of the back as much as Ball State has. Ball's brought down at the foot of Sakura Johnson. Johnson touches it up towards midline, picked up by the sub Spotak. Spotak tries to touch it toward the far touch line, and she shoves down Maya Millis as she was trying to take the ball away from her.
And if I were head coach Josh Reif right now for the Ball State Cardinals, I would say shoot anywhere past the 18-yard box in between the halfway line, because with this weather, the ball is going to skip as it continues to rain even harder.
Weather's certainly a factor here in the first half, but it hasn't led to any major mistakes, at least on the score sheet, as here's a booming free kick from all the way around half line, touched forward in front of goal, and it just barely misses. It was Avery Fenchel who turned around from an unreal angle once again, but she wasn't able to get the power on it this time.
But what I saw there was Emily Roper with a fantastic header. She got that one down. Great technique on that one, and it gave Avery Fenchel an opportunity on goal.
The official rules that the ball was last touched by Eastern Michigan, so Addie Chester steps forward to take a corner from the near side. It's the right side of the Ball State offense as she sends in a low service this time. A line drive, nobody there. Here's the cleanup crew, and that is more of a field goal than anything. Booted straight high off the foot of Jordan Jeffers. She maybe wasn't expecting that one to come down to her boot.
Yeah, I think if there was a goal post right there, I think that would have been a good field goal. But I like what I'm seeing from Ball State. The only thing they need to clean up is how they're playing in the attacking third, but that's been the trend of the last couple of games. As we mentioned, only one goal so far in their first 3 MAC matches.
A whole slew of subs come in for Eastern Michigan as they've got a new look here with 16 minutes to play in the first half. Off the goal kick, they'll move up the far side of the pitch. Booming ball sent forward, headed down by Millis. Now bringing it down is Spotak for Eastern Michigan. She has the ball stripped away. Ball State moves it back towards the defensive line again. It's Jeffers. Jeffers is tripped from behind. It might have looked like she lost her footing against Cameron Susi. I think the legs just got tangled there. No malintent by any extent on that play, but that's soccer in sloppy weather. You're going to lose your footing. There's going to be some unnecessary fouling sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to get dicey, and sometimes you're just going to make mistakes, as you mentioned, especially in this weather. But I think so far the Cardinals have done a good job. They've drawn 3 or 4 fouls already in this first half. They have the advantage as far as that goes.
Eastern Michigan not afraid to get physical either. 3 yellow cards in their last match against Toledo. Now some space on the near side to settle down for Jordan Jeffers. She touches it forward to Caitlin Frazier. Frazier has the ball stripped from her by Sakura Johnson. Johnson plays it to the back line. Sent forward by the new sub, Mary Grimes, the junior from Commerce Township, Michigan. Frazier wins it back for Ball State. She sends it back to the back line with Audrey Goodyear. Goodyear, the central defender, sends it forward all the way up into the attacking third for Frazier. Frazier touches it back at the foot of Acadia Murphy. Murphy sends it over to Frazier. She had a player closing down her back, and she was not able to hold on to possession with a player on. Now it's with Eastern Michigan, Sophia D'Ambra. She loses it. to Caitlin Frazier. These midfielders are working hard for Ball State. They have not had a lot of possession as there's a ball sent forward to Chester, but she's not able to get around the defender, and it trickles into the gloves of Ella Holland. What I was going to say about the midfielders for Ball State, they haven't been key to the possession. In fact, they've lost a bit of the possession, but they're working hard to win it back.
No, and Sam, what's really exciting is watching the two different philosophies play out right in front of us. For Eastern Michigan, this is a team looking to see if Ball State will make a mistake. All they're going to do is try to kick the ball through the air and get behind the back line for the Cardinals. They want to just try to build possession. They want to get the ball up slowly and methodically and try to get a good shot on goal by working through possession.
It certainly worked in terms of the quantity of shots for Ball State, 6 to just 1 for Eastern Michigan. The lone shot on goal in this game also belongs to the Cardinals. Thomas touches it back to her goalkeeper Holland for Eastern Michigan as she sets up here on the near side just outside the 6-yard box. She touches it in front of goal as the ball is played forward to Mary Grimes. Sarah Van Ewen works it up the far side of the pitch. Eastern Michigan trying to hold on to possession for longer than they've been able to as Sophia DeAmber tries the back pass facing the other way, and it goes straight to the boot of Audrey Goodyear. Goodyear back to Konopatsky, and she'll work up the left side for Ball State now. Not a lot of pressure coming forward from the Cardinals, but there's a bad pass into the middle. Picked up by Cameron Susie. She's able to touch it forward. Konopatsky come out. She dives, slides, and is able to wrap that ball up in what was a dangerous near mistake for Ball State.
And that's the exact kind of opportunity that this Eastern Michigan team is looking for. They're just going to continue to kick the ball up the field and hope that the Cardinals make a mistake and beat themselves.
And to be fair, it's happened a couple of times where Ball State has not had themselves firing on all cylinders as Hannah Thompson picks it up on the near side. She's taken down by Addie Chester right on the edge of that 18-yard box, and I think it was the location that caused the official not to blow his whistle there. He did not want to give up a penalty kick in a match that's been so close here in the first half.
No, but that call right there was dicey because Addie Chester definitely looked like she put a shoulder in there. I'm not saying that it was anything malicious or even a foul, but I do think you're right. I think if that's anywhere else but the inside that 18-yard box, I think that's going to be a penalty. Or not a penalty, but a foul.
Ainsley Schofel comes in for Ball State with a couple of other subs. It is going to be a throw-in right near the corner for Eastern Michigan with 12 minutes to play here in the first half. No score, lots of rain. Ball's touched in now to Josie Langhans. Ball State able to win it back with Tori Monaco. A couple of new subs coming on for the Cardinals, including LJ Moncrief, the freshman phenom trying to make her presence known. She's appeared in all 10 games off the bench as a sub as she tries to strike up the near side of the pitch, but is dispossessed again by Eastern Michigan. Taylor Maddock did the cleanup duties that time for the Eagles to send the ball out for yet another Ball State corner. This will be number 6 on the afternoon for the Cardinals in terms of corners to just 1 for Eastern Michigan. Moncrief steps up to take the corner. High service. Able to dive for it, climbing the ladder to haul it down wide receiver style. Ella Holland, that was an athletic play to make sure that no ball finds its way between the pipes for Eastern Michigan. It's been a heck of an afternoon so far for Ella Holland.
Yeah, Ella Holland has 2 shutouts in her last 2 appearances, so she's been fantastic. And right there, she just went out of her box there and made the play.
Well, if you're paying attention to our Nat mic, it sounds like it's pouring. That's because it is. Raining harder than it has. We didn't think we were going to see any rain till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it is a wet afternoon in Muncie with 10.5 to play in half number 1. Braving the elements are both of these squads. Ball State looking for just its 2nd win in MAC play. Eastern Michigan looking for its 1st. Here's a deep shot from Roper and a diving save. Punched away with one hand. Nobody expected that shot, not even Holland. But she's able to keep things scoreless, at least for the moment.
And that's what Ball State has to continue to do. As we mentioned, it's raining really hard. It looks like the Amazon rainforest out there. But as long as you have the ability to get a shot on goal, you should, even if you're past that 18-yard area, because right now that ball is going to move and it's going to fly.
Isn't this perfect soccer weather?
It's
You got all the umbrellas over there. Here's another service and another diving save. Deja vu. Ella Holland. My goodness.
I didn't think this was football, Sam. Right now she's making incredible catches out of that 6-yard box.
And typically we see a lot of soccer players be the kickers for their football teams. Why not get Ella Holland in a jersey and some pads, put her out there as a wide receiver? She's hauling in some crazy stuff inside the 18 for the Eagles.
Probably play on the Colts.
Colts could certainly use a little help. 1-2 on the year, playing the Steelers today. That game going on simultaneously with ours. as Ball State will build out of the back. It's Audrey Goodyear with the ball at her feet. Rain comes down harder and harder. Thankfully, no lightning, nothing to stop the play. So we just get a unique weather circumstance. Eastern Michigan wins the ball back. Inside 9 minutes to play here in the first half. Still 0-0. Both sides limiting the mistakes pretty well, as Ella Holland will build out of the back really for the first time this afternoon. From the top of the 18-yard box, she touches it to the far side. Now ball is sent forward, deflected away. Last touch by Scarlett Thomas. Thomas towards the 18-yard box of Ball State, and the touch was too strong with Olivia Sipsock streaming in trying to pick up what would be another opportunistic ball.
Sam, I know you used to play soccer. That ball right now probably has to be a good 10 pounds heavier than normal with how much waterlogging it's gone through.
Not always the best conditions when it's this rainy. It's
not fun to head it right now either.
It really is not. And sometimes that's Ball State's bread and butter in terms of the offensive side. You got players like Roper, who is one of the tallest out there. If you can send her a ball in high, usually she's great at heading it. But when you add those 10 extra pounds or so, that's going to make you think twice about it. Hitting the deck right in front of our press box is Sophia Bowman as the official blows play dead. Delaney Ahern guilty of a foul that time. So just over midline for a free kick for Eastern Michigan. Here on the near side, moving up the left side of the pitch. This is not where they've typically been attacking from, but they're going to send a lot of players forward. I count 5 at the top of the 18, looking at 6, as here's the service from Thomas. Deflected away from Ball State and out of bounds. Last touch by the Cardinals, so the offensive chance not done yet, as we'll have a corner from Eastern Michigan also on this near side. Stepping forward to take the corner is the substitute Hannah Thompson, the junior midfielder from Schoolcraft, Michigan. A lot of Michigan natives on this EMU squad. She raises the arm. Here's the service. It's a driving ball low, headed away by Ball State. Not a lot of success for Eastern Michigan off these set pieces. The Cards have been first to it every time. But Eastern Michigan's able to possess in the corner. Thompson slings a defender off of her, but loses possession. With the ball at her feet, it's Tori Monaco. First time we've called her name off the bench. She loses her footing and loses possession. Now it's with Scarlett Thomas. Switches the play as they build out of the back. They'll go back over to the near side here on the left side of the field. Mary Grimes towards the touchline on the offensive third. Grimes tried to send a ball forward to Josie Langhans, but it's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Monaco. Monaco comes in as kind of a substitute, a workhorse at that midfield position. Ball State loves to run these midfielders ragged, but they certainly get their money's worth with their playing time as well.
Yeah, especially when Eastern Michigan has possession in the Ball State defensive third. Those midfielders really drop back and almost act as like a 5th and 6th defender for this team.
Grimes the throw in on the near side. Touched back out to her. Now a service to the top of the 18-yard box. Bringing it down is D'Ambra. D'Ambra turns, fires in a shot, and that was a low driving, skipping ball that was probably the toughest that Konopatsky has seen all afternoon. Inside 6 minutes to play here in half number 1. The punt from Konopatsky forward. Touched off the head of Chester, who has checked back into the game. A nice sliding tackle to win back possession for Taylor Maddock. Now the ball's at the foot of Hannah Thompson. Eastern Michigan turns it around towards the defensive side to build out of the back once more. That's something that we've seen change over the past 15 minutes or so. EMU a little more comfortable with building out of the back. They send a ball forward that's going to trickle towards that back line. And it's played out of bounds, cleared away for what will be an EMU throw. Mary Grimes does the throw-in duties once more towards the corner. Turning it around, here's the service from D'Ambra. It's high, and it goes into the top netting for Ball State. That one even caught Konopatsky by surprise.
Yeah, that started bending a little bit more than I thought it would, and for a second I thought it might sneak in there. It hits the top of the net. Good goalkeeping for Konopatsky, but right now with this weather, I got to tell you, it's the great equalizer, and I think it's really helping out Eastern Michigan.
I have a feeling, Evan, that it's just kind of going to be one of those games where it's going to be a mistake in the second half that leads to one goal. I don't think we're going to see a ton of scoring in weather like this, so it keeps everybody on the edge of their seats. Still no score in this match with 4.5 to play here in the first half. Ball State building out of the back from the 18. It's with Goodyear. She plays it forward. Trying to retain possession for the Cardinals is Kaylin Below. Eastern Michigan wins it back with Mary Grimes. We've called her name a lot off the bench. It could just be the bias of her being here on the near side as there's a ball driven in and skipped up by Konopatsky. Not a bad idea from outside the 18 from Megan Lukowski. Konopatsky taking her time before sending this away. Just a couple of chances left for Ball State. This offense has kind of petered out over the past couple of minutes. At midfield, Cardinals have possession, as does Kaylin Below. She sends it to the near side on the touchline. Ball's touched forward by Kira Verberg, and she's not able to hold on to possession either. A lot of new faces here on the new side. It's Verberg, Schofel, Below. And that's what we've come to expect from Josh Reif, who loves to go to his bench. He's got a lot of depth, and he's not afraid to use it late in the first half. It's at the foot of Verberg here on the near sideline, right at about midfield. Ball is played in, and letting it slip by her is LG Moncrief. I think she thought she had a player behind her, and Eastern Michigan is able to take advantage of that mistake and win back possession. It's at the foot of Hannah Thompson, streaking up the field, at the middle, just outside the 18-yard box. She's able to nutmeg the defender as Emily Iafrati runs in off the bench for Eastern Michigan. She's able to deflect the ball away out of bounds off of Ball State. It'll be a throw-in on the 18-yard box extended for EMU. Hannah Thompson with the ball at her feet in the corner. She's able to deflect it off those 2 or 3 Ball State defenders for another corner kick now for EMU. Ball on the far side, 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Wouldn't this be some momentum heading into the halftime break? The rain is coming down at Briner Sports Complex. It is Thompson who lines up the corner. This one a little higher to the near post, and nobody there but Konopatsky. Lots of black jerseys in the area, but nobody seemed to want to get a touch on it.
Yeah, fortunate there for the Cardinals. Everyone but Konopatsky watched that one sail by him. Good job, though, from the goalkeeper.
Schofel out of the back. Looks forward to Below. Near sideline for Ball State, working it up the right side. Verberg's not able to run onto that pass quick enough. Ball's deflected out of bounds. 1 minute, 45 seconds to play in the first half. Still no score between the Cardinals and the Eagles. Ball State 1-2 in conference play. Eastern Michigan 0-1-2. That's no wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. Another throw in on the near side. Touchdown by Hannah Thompson. On the touchline, 2 defenders on her for Ball State. And the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Verberg. Stepping forward to take the throw-in duties is Mary Grimes. Towards the corner now. Eastern Michigan inching its way up with 1 minute and 15 seconds to play here in the first half. Towards the corner now. It's Sophia Bowman. And the ball is deflected out of bounds. Not only has possession been an issue, so has keeping the ball in play over the past couple of minutes. 60 seconds to go exactly in the first half. But a lot of offense left to be played for Eastern Michigan as the ball is played out of bounds for what will be a corner kick. Stepping forward to take it again is Thompson. She lines up with the right foot. Eastern Michigan sends a lot of bodies forward, all but 3 inside the 18-yard box. Ball State has to hold down the fort one more time in this first half. Here's the service, punched away by Konopatsky, and the danger is cleared by Ball State with 39 seconds to go. Eastern Michigan still has a lot of players pushed forward as the ball falls to the foot of Holland. Holland resurfaces, and now there's a player open here inside the 18-yard box, but Josie Langhans was a little too far forward. Offsides is the official ruling. 20 seconds to play here in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if Konopatsky doesn't just take her time here, setting up what will be a free kick. I don't even think we'll see this ball live in play again with 10 seconds to go. Konopatsky just outside the 18, takes the free kick, sends it high. Verberg the touch, and that is how half number 1 comes to an end. No score between the Cardinals and the Eagles. Weather has been the name of the game. We thought we escaped the rain. It went from drizzle to sprinkle, and now all of a sudden it is pouring on the field at Briner Sports Complex, but the goals have not been pouring at all. First half takeaways on the other side of this break here from SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. No score between the Cardinals and the Eagles. Sam Neiger, Evan Stowell with you on Victory Honda of Muncie SportsLink Digital Radio.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptoninn.com. At munciesweets.hamptoninn.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State sports with SportsLink Digital.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
A healthy Scotch mist here at the Briner Sports Complex on the campus of Ball State University. 0-0 at halftime between the Ball State Cardinals and the Eastern Michigan Eagles. We welcome you in to the SportsLink Digital Halftime Report. Sam Neiger alongside Evan Stowell. Evan, really not a lot of scoring, but we saw some offensive chances. We thought we might see a mistake or two more than we did with as sloppy as the weather is. It is absolutely pouring out. But nonetheless, still 0-0. What's your big takeaway from half number one?
Well, the game reminds me a lot of the weather. It's raining, it's not raining, it's raining, it's not raining. This team for Ball State, they've been able to get into that offensive third in the first 10 minutes of the first half, and then I'd say around the 20-minute mark, they started to struggle a lot, especially when the rain coming down. Eastern Michigan definitely looked like the better team in the hard rain. They were able to get the ball up the field, play the through balls. They looked like the stronger squad for, I'd say, about the last 15 minutes.
They certainly did, but still only 3 shots for Eastern Michigan, 2 of those on goal. Ball State has 7 shots, 2 of those were on goal as well. Corners, again, kind of favor Ball State. 7 corners in that first half. That is kind of a whopping number to Eastern Michigan's 4, but that just kind of goes with how this game has played out. It's been sloppy. No team's been able necessarily to hold on to the ball. As we take a look at our halftime stats, 7 shots faced for Eastern Michigan, 3 shots faced for Ball State, 2 saves apiece for Konopatsky and Holland. And really, the stat line kind of reflects the kind of what of a drag it was in that first half, Evan.
Yeah, so both teams really struggled to keep possession in the middle of the field. It was a lot of ping-ponging back and forth. No one was able to really establish themselves in there. And then I didn't like a couple of things I saw from the Cardinals as far as how far outside their wingers were playing. I think they were playing really close to that 18-yard box. I think that was causing a lot of the Eastern Michigan defenders to be near each other, which just makes it easier to defend. I think it's a lot harder to defend a team that's spread out and playing longer passes up the field and is able to get into those wider areas and then get corners into the box, which is where you can take advantage of having that height difference that Emily Roper has.
You specifically mentioned that in the first half about Addie Chester as well. We've seen the speed from her. We've seen the touch. We know that she can get creative when she has the ball at her feet, but still no shots to her name. So although she's creating space, although she's having those flashy plays, she hasn't necessarily been able to turn that into anything productive.
No, she hasn't, because the problem is she's just too close to those 2 18-yard box. The corners there, you want to be outside of those in order to really get on the wings and able to, be able to expose the defense for Eastern Michigan. So sometimes sometimes she gets open. She doesn't have any shooting or crossing angles, though, because she's just starting her runs too far inward.
Well, don't get me wrong, though. Ball State has still had some offensive success despite the goose egg up on the scoreboard right now, and they've spread the love pretty well so far. Likewise, Avery Fenchel, Caitlin Frazier, Emily Roper, all 2 shots apiece. Delaney Caldwell has a shot as well. The 2 shots on goal belong to Roper and Caldwell, which is not really a surprise. Those have been 2 of the more dominant forces on the offensive side of the ball for Ball State. So what breakdown do you have in terms of this offense for Ball State? They've kind of struggled in Mid-American Conference play, but they're at least getting those numbers involved.
Their problem for the last couple of weeks now has been consistency in the way they are consistently getting offensive chances. It felt like once they brought the subs in and kind of got a different mix of players in there, their offense just kind of petered out and fell apart. I think for the Cardinals, they need to have more consistency in getting the ball outside, and also they just kind of forget to keep possession once it gets more towards the end of the half. Now, that'll happen with any soccer team. You're going to lose a little bit of that discipline, but you look at the 2014 German World Cup squad, the one thing they had going for them was they always knew their role, they stayed in position, and they kept possession. This Ball State team needs to kind of adapt more to that philosophy. You don't need to go get every ball. We don't need to play hero ball. We just need to do our job and our role.
Oh, my goodness. What an analysis. You've gone to the vault a couple of times today. I've been impressed. It is still coming down outside in Briner Sports Complex. I look around in the press box. We've tripled our numbers. Nobody wants to be out in the rain right now, and I don't blame them. Looks like everybody went for a swim in Muncie. That's going to take us to our first break of this halftime show. Don't go anywhere, about 8.5 minutes, and we'll have kickoff in the second half. Sam Neiger, Evan Stowell on the SL Digital Sports Link Radio Network.
For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is Sports Link Digital.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
A crisp 71 degrees, and the rain still coming down. Rain expected for about the next 2 hours. We got an 85% chance of rain until about 4 p.m. We thought we were going to dodge it. That hasn't been the case, and the players are embracing it, but a little frustration from Josh Reif and this Ball State team. He is not overly thrilled, Evan, with how many times Ball State has allowed the ball to be put into its own defensive 18-yard box.
Well, I've been really surprised by how many times we've seen Ball State defenders just kick the ball out of bounds and give possession back over to EMU. If you're going to do that, you might as well just kick it up the field if you don't mind losing possession. So from his perspective, I understand why he sees that. For me, I'm just kind of surprised with how quickly they lost the ability to get on the attack. It seemed like late in that first half, they just really struggled, even connecting 2-3 passes at a time without losing possession.
Well, it was Ball State's game for the first 10 minutes, and then Eastern Michigan crawled back tooth and nail. Still nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, though. 0-0 as we approach second half kickoff here in just a couple of minutes here on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU Sports Link.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptoninn.com. At munciesweets.hamptoninn.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State sports with SportsLink Digital.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptoninn.com. At munciesweets.hamptoninn.com.
Final news and notes from the coaches to their players as we get set for half number 2 between the Cardinals and the Eagles. It's Ball State and Eastern Michigan here on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Sam Neiger joined by Evan Stowell, and we'll have our final remarks here of the halftime break before we get rolling in half number 2. Evan, I did want to ask you about what you've thought so far about our impact players. That's Delaney Caldwell and Olivia Sipsock. I want to start with Sipsock. She's had some solid runs, but hasn't necessarily turned that into a ton of production.
I think Sipsock has done a good job of waiting up there and looking for those through balls. I think Eastern Michigan has done a pretty poor job, actually, of getting her the ball. But I think she's in the right locations, and if she continues to kind of hover around that area, something could spark.
And then for Ball State, you've got Delaney Caldwell, one of just a few players who have really put on a solid performance on the offensive side.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see more of Delaney Caldwell. I know it's hard right now to keep possession just because of the weather, but I wouldn't be sad or upset to see a little bit more Delaney Caldwell action. I think coming over here, she'll be closer towards this near side. She should get the ball a little bit more, but I thought so far, Addie Chester, we've seen some good things from her individually. I'd like to see her a little bit more connected with her fellow midfielders.
Ball State has now retaken the field with 25 seconds left to go in the halftime break. We are just about set for half number 2. A reminder, Ball State in the all-white uniforms, the white jerseys, white shorts, white socks, with the red accents and the black numerals. Eastern Michigan in their all-black away jerseys. That's black jerseys, black shorts, black socks, green accents, and then you've got those white block letters. Cameron Susie gets ready to kick things away for Eastern Michigan. Now moving left to right across your radio dial. Ball State moving right to left. We hear the siren for half number 2 to start. And there's the whistle. Well, almost the whistle from the official.
Well, false start there.
I guess so. It seemed like everybody had the jump. Waiting for the clock to get set here at Briner Sports Complex. It does. And we are underway in half 2. Ball State immediately gets possession back after Susie sends it forward. Now up the left side is Delaney Caldwell. We'll have a little bit of a better view to see if she's able to create more opportunities for herself right in front of us in the press box. Ball's touched out of bounds. Last touch by Eastern Michigan. Maya Millis comes forward to take the throw for Ball State at about the offensive third line for the Cardinals. Her throw-in goes to the foot of Avery Fenchel, who tries to loop a ball over her own head, but nobody there to make a run for the Cardinals. Ella Holland has her first bit of work in half number 2.
That's a good start, though, for Ball State. Get the ball back towards your attacking third and have chances once again. We didn't see that for the last 12 minutes of the first half. Good to see them start that way here in the second half.
Holland sends the troops forward before punting it away. Caldwell tries to get a touch on it out of the air. Instead, it's brought down by Eastern Michigan and Olivia Sipsock. Sipsock drops it back. It's picked up by Sophia D'Ambra. D'Ambra looks to the middle, has Sakura Johnson right around midline. She drops it back, and the Eagles will build out of the back here on the near side with Sophia D'Ambra. D'Ambra sends it forward into the offensive third, where it's picked up by our impact player, Olivia Sipsock. Sipsock touches it to her left. She's still streaming up the middle of the field, and there's a great sliding tackle from Ball State right in the middle of the pitch. That looked like Audrey Goodyear who got to her, got all ball, but the whistle is eventually blown for Ball State. A foul committed on the far side by Jordan Jeffers. It'll be a free kick for Eastern Michigan. 43-27 to play in the match. Eastern Michigan has sent quite a few players forward on these free kicks from distance. No exception here. Player stacking the top of the 18. Here is the service. Into the 18. It's deflected up by Konopatsky. And the danger was almost cleared by Caldwell, but she kind of swung and missed. Caught just a little bit of the underside of the ball. Now a reservice from Eastern Michigan. Somehow that ball stays in play. Stepping forward to touch it is D'Ambra, who sends it to the outside with Sam Lanahan. Lanahan drops it back to midline. Building out of the back is Sarah Van Ewen. Van Ewen switches play over to the left side with Scarlett Thomas. Thomas finds Sam Lanahan now on the far side of the pitch. Cardinals tried to win it back, but the touch forward was too strong, and it falls into the clutches of Ella Holland.
Yeah, good work there from Addie Chester. She was trying to play a through ball to Avery Fenchel. Fenchel noticed she was offside and decided not to continue the run.
Well, it's those through balls that you were talking about for Ball State that they've got to start executing to a little bit better, to a little bit of a higher degree if they want to have more success here in half number 2. The chances have been there. They just have not put one between the pipes, but now a chance for Eastern Michigan. Striking up the middle of the field is Maddie O'Farrell. O'Farrell touches it out to her left. Now a ball sent forward to Sipsock. Sipsock near the touchline. She fires it into the side netting. Nearly a real danger there for the Cardinals, but no save even required there from Konopatsky.
Sipsock actually looks better with the ball at her feet when there's defenders around her. She does a really nice job finding those little pockets in the attacking third for Eastern Michigan, and she gets a shot off there. Not a great angle, but a good-looking through ball to get her some touches.
And forgive me, I should have known this. Konopatsky has done her half of work. She's replaced by Abby Jenkins, the 5'11 senior from Fishers, Indiana. Jenkins has been one of those keepers that's come in to replace Konopatsky as of late. She goes back and forth between, her and Kate Palante as Ball State wins the ball near the corner, but Caldwell loses it to Sam Lanahan. Lanahan drops it back, and the ball is punched forward by Eastern Michigan. There to pick up what was a sloppy pass was Maya Millis. Now Caldwell forward into Chester in the 18. Ball's headed away. Not a lot of white jerseys there for Ball State as the danger is cleared. Chester might have taken a knee to the side there, and she's just trying to take a minute to herself as Eastern Michigan retains possession. It's with Sipsock. She touches it out to the far side. Now the left side for Eastern Michigan. Moving up the far side of the pitch, it's Cameron Susie. Susie with a lot of space. She touches it into the middle. Closed down by Sipsock. Sipsock touches it around the defender. Now she sends it to the top of the 18-yard box and is able to touch it in, looking for a runner, but nobody there. Abby Jenkins picks up the scraps. 40 minutes, 30 seconds to play here, and still a scoreless game in half number 2. Jenkins, the boot forward. Fenchel trying to back down the defender. Instead, she touches it to the outside. Here on the near side is Caldwell. who drops it back to Millis. Millis tried to look forward to find Fenchel. Instead, she's got Caldwell. Caldwell now touches it into the middle with Caitlin Frazier. Frazier drops it back. She finds Acadia Murphy. Murphy switches play over to the right side now, but it's a little too far in front of Addie Chester. Trying to close down the defender. She's able to force the ball off the foot of Rosalie Takasi, but out of bounds for a Ball State throw. On the 18-yard box extended on the far side, moving right to left is Ball State. The throw in from Chester doesn't find a white jersey, but there to try and pick up the scraps is Caitlin Frazier. Frazier loses possession. Now it's dropped back to Millis. Millis at the attacking third, floats it up to Caldwell. Caldwell tries to flight one in. Now a bunch of bodies fight for it just outside the 18-yard box. Nobody seems to come down with it. A swing and a miss, and eventually Eastern Michigan is able to clear the danger. First to it off that clearance was Audrey Goodyear. She puts the ball back in play in the offensive third, right up the middle of the pitch before Eastern Michigan sends it to the outside, and now they're going to get a chance to breathe as the ball is played out of bounds, last touch by the Eagles. 39 minutes, 18 seconds to play. 0-0 between the Cardinals and the Eagles. Ball State 6-4 overall, 1-2 in Mid-American Conference play. Eastern Michigan 4-4-2 with no wins, a loss, and 2 draws in MAC play thus far. Sam Lanahan attacks up the right side for Eastern Michigan on the near side of the pitch. She tries to center it once more. Able to step in and deflect it away is Jeffers, but Eastern Michigan is still there. Now to Sipstock at the top of the 18. She is dispossessed. Roper gets there to clear it out, finds Caldwell. Caldwell now plays it forward to Fenchel. Not a lot of numbers up for Ball State. Fenchel hits the deck. She touches it outside to Chester. The official thought about advantage, but once he saw that there were so many numbers back for Eastern Michigan, he blows his whistle, and Fenchel will be rewarded with a free kick after taking that hard hit.
Yeah, and so far the second half feels completely different than the first half. Both of these teams have had 2 good attacks apiece. They've gone back and forth, north to south, instead of that east to west play we saw in the first. So it's been exciting to see the second half so far. We'll see if they can maintain that energy.
It really does seem like there's a sense of urgency here coming out of the break. We talked about the frustration from Josh Reif and his squad at halftime. They definitely want to net one here sooner rather than later. Off the free kick, losing her footing is Jeffers. Ball's won back by Maya Millis at about midfield. She sends it forward, has Addie Chester with a little bit of space. Takes it to the middle, stepping away from that outside midfield position she's accustomed to. Drops it back to Roper. Roper to the top of the 18. Caldwell wasn't there. Eastern Michigan trying to clear the danger, and they touch it to the outside to Sam Lanahan. Lanahan sends a booming ball up the near side touchline. Ball State wins it back. Fighting for it is Caitlin Frazier and Maddie O'Farrell. Frazier wins that battle as Ball State touches it into the middle of the pitch with Acadia Murphy. She sends a ball forward now, that north to south play we were talking about. Now to the outside, it's Eastern Michigan. Cameron Susie sends the ball forward. Far side touchline towards the 18-yard box. Eagles come streaking in. Now here's a centered ball, trying to get a foot on it. Eastern Michigan not able to settle, and Sophia D'Ambra is going to want that one back. Excuse me, Maddie O'Farrell was the one on the ball there for Eastern Michigan at the top of the 18. She couldn't get a shot off. Now a throw in here on the near side from Lanahan at right around midfield, just barely into Ball State territory. Her throw is deflected out of bounds off the shin guard of Delaney Caldwell, and she'll get another one just a few feet farther up the pitch. Lanahan looking for anybody in black to get it to. She finds the foot of one of her offensive players. Coming in is Kate Robinson. Robinson into the 18 off the throw. She barely touches the 18-yard box before the Cardinals clear the danger. It's going to be a corner kick for Eastern Michigan, or no, a throw-in. It was right there between being the touch line and the end line. Ball goes out of bounds on the touchline, so it is going to be a throw for Eastern Michigan from not exactly an opportune angle. Service played in from Lanahan, and it goes out of bounds. Didn't necessarily get the strike on it that she wanted. Maybe the ball just kind of slipped off her boot there. Now a goal kick coming up for the new goalkeeper, Addie Jenkins of Ball State. Jenkins sends her team forward as she will send a booming goal kick up to the foot of Delaney Caldwell. Caldwell again finds Fenchel. Now a give and go. Caldwell with some space on the near side. She's streaking towards the 18-yard box. Looks ahead of her. She's got Chester in the 18. Beats one. Tries the shot, and it's deflected away. Great recovery defense that time from Sarah Van Ewen. She was the one who originally got beat, and she backtracked to get the ball out of bounds.
She did. That was a fantastic effort from her. And then I also want to shout out Delaney Caldwell. See, she started that run wider, which allowed her to go in rather than starting into that 18-yard box where you then kind of don't have a lot of space to work with. That allowed her to cut back and then get that shot, which was deflected. So good work there from Delaney Caldwell.
Yeah, you've been preaching that all afternoon long, and we're seeing the fruits of it now for Ball State as Maya Millis sets up for the corner kick here on the near side, raises both hands. Here comes the service. It is high. It is far. Streaking in, trying to get ahead on it was Roper, but unable to do so. Eastern Michigan now first to it as bodies hit the deck trying to clear the ball. 4 players hit the turf there in a span of about 5 seconds, and the last of which was a foul against Roper, so it's going to be an Eastern Michigan free kick with just under 35 minutes to play here in this match. A reminder, if our score holds, there's no overtime here in the regular season. Eastern Michigan knows that all too well. Their last match was a 0-0 draw with Toledo. Ball State yet to draw on the season at 6-4. Throw in on the far side for Eastern Michigan, but the whistle blows from the official. Or excuse me, I think that came from the field hockey turf just next to us. Cards currently up 1-0 against Big Ten foe Michigan State on the field hockey side of things. No digital call for that today. We're here with you at Briner Sports Complex for soccer only, but certainly keep your eyes attuned to that score as well for the Cardinals. It's been a solid performance from our field hockey team. Now Eastern Michigan tries to create an offensive chance. Ball's played forward, finds the foot of Sophia Diambra. Diambra tries to turn it around, a left-footed shot, and it's skied high, deflected off the boot of Jordan Jeffers, and hauled down with relative ease from Abby Jenkins, but still has Ball State on the edge of their seat right now, does Eastern Michigan.
Well, Josh Reif has gone with a more aggressive approach for his Cards here in the second half, but what that does is it opens up the counterattack because there's less defenders back there, things are less squished up, and that gives some of the forwards for EMU a better chance with shots on goal.
It's allowing Eastern Michigan to possess in that attacking third a little better as well. We've seen some nice passes strung together from the Eagles here in the first 12 minutes or so of this second half as Ball State's able to win the ball back in their offensive third. Backtracking now is Scarlett Thomas. She's able to win it back and deflect it out of bounds off of Acadia Murphy, who was way up out of position, but it's going to be a goal kick for EMU.
And I think the EMU defenders deserve all the credit so far in this one. Obviously, the tie last time out against Toledo and then 0-0 right now. They've done a fantastic job limiting this Cardinals offense.
32 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the match. Still 0-0 between the Cardinals and the Eagles. Goal kick sent forward from Eastern Michigan. Ball finds its way up to Maddie O'Farrell's foot at about midfield. Ball State puts it back into play. Avery Fenchel in the offensive third, just trying to get a touch on it. She's able to off her head. Now brings it down with the defender at her back. She's able to drop it back to Caitlin Frazier. Frazier not able to get a foot on it. Roper wasn't in the area either to pick up the scraps, so Eastern Michigan will steal the ball away from the Cardinals. Now here's a nice ball to Maddie O'Farrell. She loses her position quickly, and an errant hand from Maya Millis catches Maddie O'Farrell in the face. And that's really the most flippant foul that we've seen.
Yeah, and it was pretty accidental, too. But, yeah, that was the most obvious one we've seen so far in this matchup. But definitely an accidental hand to the face there from Maya Mills.
Both of these teams love their physical soccer, but it's been a clean game despite the weather. We thought we might see teams kind of get a little too aggressive, maybe, as here's a ball flown in from Eastern Michigan from way downtown, headed away easily by Jeffers, and Ball State clears the danger. But credit to both teams for keeping the play clean, at least in terms of the physicality and the fouling, despite the fact that we do have this slog of rain.
Yeah, Sam, in this weather, it's really easy to lose your discipline, but both squads have done a pretty good job at staying pretty cool-tempered in this one.
31:30 to play in half number 2. No score. 0-0 between Ball State and Eastern Michigan. Far side touchline. Kate Robinson, offensive third, flies a ball into the box, and coming forward to get it is Jenkins, with the ever-present Olivia Sipsock trying to make a run and get a touch on it. The new goalkeeper, Addie Jenkins, has been challenged here in half 2, but she's done a good job as she boots it away here. Now Addie Chester on the left side, touches it forward. She's got Fenchel. Fenchel tries the give and go, finds Chester again. Here's a shot, and it's deflected away. A great combination, and you can see these give and goes start to produce a little more fruit here in the second half for Ball State.
Yeah, Avery Fenchel probably just a step slow there, not getting the ball back to Chester quick enough so it didn't hit her in stride, but that was a really good idea there from the Cardinals on the attack.
One or two more of those, and Ball State might be able to slip one through for what is a much-needed goal at this point. We talked about the slow start to MAC play for Ball State, really for both teams, but a little more unexpected for the Cardinals. 2 shutout losses to open MAC play against Bowling Green and Kent State. They got the win on Thursday against Akron. Now they're trying to make it 2 for their last 2 and even up that record at 500 in Mid-American Conference play. That would be a big boost to the ego, but yet to strike on the scoreboard this afternoon. 30 minutes to play, a half hour of soccer left as Ball State continues to push forward. Roper unable to get possession. She challenges Scarlett Thomas, who sends the ball out of bounds, last touched by Roper. Far side throw-in from the defensive third for Eastern Michigan. Throw-in won by Eastern, but immediately touched out of bounds as it sends Jeffers forward to do the throw-in duties. Caitlin Frazier with the first touch off the throw-in on the far side touchline. Ball skied high by Eastern Michigan. Nobody seems to want to bring it down for Ball State as it continues to just be a game of boot it back and forth before it goes out of bounds. Rosalie Takasi, who has played some spot-on on-ball defense for Eastern Michigan, does the throw-in duty, but it's not a good one. It's won back by Ball State into the 18-yard block. Streaking in is Fenchel, and she's not able to get a touch on it as Scarlett Thomas was able to scramble and clear the ball away. Now about 9 feet from the end line, it's going to be a Ball State throw-in from the far side. A few numbers push forward for Ball State as they elect to go with a short throw-in. Caitlin Frazier gets the first touch, and she tries to turn it around before it's deflected away by Eastern Michigan. Another corner awarded to Ball State. That is corner number 8 on the afternoon. Addie Chester to the far side corner near a Galliard Road with the cars moving behind her and the rain trickling overhead. Raises both arms to take the right-footed corner. Here is the service. It is high. Ball State tries to get a hand on it, but instead it's touched away. Players down in the box. Still no clearance yet from Eastern Michigan. Danger's cleared at least for the moment. Jeffers brings it down. She touches it over to Delaney Ahern. Ahern resets to Millis. And with 28 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in the second half, the pressure continues for Ball State. Ball's played forward to Fenchel. Fenchel off her head, goes down in the box. The official blew the whistle, but it was actually the far side lines judge calling Fenchel offside. So wipe away all that contact that happened in the box. It doesn't count. It's a free kick for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, but once again, you see the dangers of having Emily Roper up front for the Ball State Cardinals. A great header there, and she played that on to Fenchel. Had Fenchel been onside, that would have been a dangerous opportunity.
I've been really impressed this season by Roper's ability to distribute the ball. She's obviously known as a huge offensive threat. Just 1 assist for her on the year, but just her ability to see the field and create those little one-touch passes has been pretty stellar.
She kind of reminds me of Abby Wambach in that way. As her and Alex Morgan back in the day, Abby Wambach would always find Morgan at the top of the box.
That's a good point. Man, these references today have been just spectacular. I got to give you credit. You're going to places I would have never even thought of. I like it. We've had some football references. We've had some stellar World Cup references.
I got a baseball one coming soon.
All right, I'm ready. Have it in the chamber. We're going to need it soon. Got to keep the folks entertained somehow with no score. 27 minutes to play, Ball State, Eastern Michigan. It's been a couple of minutes of Ball State domination in terms of possession as there is an errant slide tackle from Jordan Jeffers. Those slide tackles have been timed up really well so far today. Textbook, honestly, until that one, but at midline, Eastern Michigan's awarded a free kick. And there is going to be a yellow card awarded to Jordan Jeffers, so that will stop the clock with 26:42.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you do slide tackles from behind. Even if it's not overly malicious, if you do go behind them and you don't get the ball, that tends to be the result, is a booking.
That was about as gingerly of a fall as you could have on a slide tackle like that. Everybody just kind of rolled over onto that wet turf, so nobody really getting in any danger of getting hurt there, but definitely don't blame the officials for going to the pocket that time. Now a deep free kick. Eastern Michigan still has 4 stacked on the top of the 18-yard box. They're taking this from the far side of the pitch, right near the touchline at midline. Still waiting for that clock to roll before we get the all clear from the official. They'll reset the clock to 26:55. It was stopped at 26:42, so they'll add 13 seconds. Lining up to take the kick for Eastern Michigan, Scarlett Thomas. She's got a big foot, and she sends it towards that top of the 18-yard box. Emily Roper, no surprise, gets the first touch on it for Ball State with her head. Eastern Michigan able to win it back, though, off the foot of Sam Lanahan. Tries to take it over to the near side at the top of the 18, but the danger is cleared, at least for the moment, for the Cardinals. And stepping forward to finally close it out was Sarah Van Ewen, who sends it out of bounds for a Cardinals throw here on the near side, just outside their defensive third. Maya Millis with 26 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the second half. It seems like we're starting to inch closer and closer towards that opening goal. It's been entertaining soccer regardless of the score line. Anytime you get elements like these with the rain coming down as hard as it is, it's going to be a lot of fun as Jordan Jeffers wins it forward for Ball State. She loses it quickly. It's picked up by Sakura Johnson. Johnson up the far side touchline, plays it a little too strong for the forward, Kate Robinson. 26 minutes exactly to go. And a throw in on the far side for the EMU Eagles. Substitutions now for EMU. Going to the bench a lot earlier here in half number 2 than they were in half number 1. Mary Grimes checks back in. That's not a big surprise. She had a great performance off the bench in the first half. Throw-in finally comes from EMU. Ball State closes it out quickly. It takes 3 defenders to separate Grimes from the ball. But the Cards are able to pick it up with Acadia Murphy. Murphy touches it outside. Now it's with Roper. Roper tries the give and go. Not able to hold on to possession, but the ball is dribbled out of bounds by Eastern Michigan.
And Sam, what you're seeing right now is Ball State is all kind of clumping towards the far side of the field. They don't have any options towards this near side. I think a good opportunity here to try to switch the field, get play going here towards this near side, and try to spring Addie Chester, who's now moved over to the left.
We saw it in the first half. Both sides really like to use their right side respectively to attack. Eastern Michigan has kind of opened it up a little bit more to attack up the left side, but Ball State has been a little more hesitant too. I think that's why we saw Chester make the move over to the left side, just to spread things out. It's those kinds of halftime adjustments that makes Josh Reif so good as the head coach for Ball State. Now off the throw-in. The ball rolls all the way down towards about the 18-yard box before it's cleared away by Thomas for Eastern Michigan. So it'll be a Ball State throw at just outside the 18-yard box, extended on the far side. The throw is low. It is picked up by Ball State, sent to the top of the 18-yard box. Roper able to get a foot on it, but not a great angle. Still, the danger has not yet been cleared for Ball State. And able to send it the other way is Hannah Thompson, who's coming off the bench for Eastern Michigan as well. Cardinals keep it in play. It's at the foot of Addie Chester outside the 18-yard box on the far side. Ball's touched into the middle. It's at the foot of Kira Verberg. Cardinals lose possession now, and Eastern Michigan tries the counterattack. Ball State not able to wrap things up as tidily as perhaps they wanted. Now Maya Millis has it on the near side for the Cardinals. Building out of the back once more. She's got Chester here up the near side touchline. Ball stays in play. Will she keep it wide here, going 2-on-1 against the defenders? She is. She's going to take it towards the corner, tries the service towards the top of the 18. Nobody there for Ball State, and Eastern Michigan is able to wrap things up and send it out of bounds for what is going to end up being a goal kick. 23 minutes, 30 seconds to play from the Briner Sports Complex on a rainy Sunday afternoon. Cardinals, Eagles, knotted up at 0-0. We get the all-clear whistle from the official on the goal kick, and a dangerous play there as Millis tried to climb the ladder to get that header, but she just got a little too much contact against Megan Lakowski. Lakowski was kind of appealing like, what did I do? But really, she undercut her just a bit. Now a quick free kick taken by Acadia Murphy straight into the 6-yard box. Ball is punched away by Holland. Maybe wanted to get a better grasp on it. She wasn't able to get it in the breadbasket, but Eastern Michigan still clears it out of bounds.
Yeah, Holland goes to get it. It slips out of her hand, but luckily the defense was able to kick it out of bounds before Addie Chester could jump on the opportunity.
We thought Ball State might move with a little more pace here as Millis comes forward to take the throw, but they slow things down just a tad. Ball is dropped just outside the 18-yard box. Spinning away is Kaylin Velo. Velo into the 18. Serves it up. Nobody there for Ball State. And Eastern Michigan moves it the other way quickly. Not a lot of numbers pushed up for EMU. They're struggling to clear it, but they've got enough black jerseys back that they're at least holding on to possession for the moment. On the far side is with Rosalie Takasi. She tries to clear it away, but instead it finds the foot of Ainsley Schoeffel. Schoeffel, far side. Not able to hold on to possession. Eastern Michigan wins it back again. It just seems that despite the fact that Ball State has had the pressure, they've been putting it on Eastern Michigan. They have not turned it into shots. They have not been able to hold on to that possession. Now on the far side of play, Kaylin Velo again. She touches it back. Here's the service for Ball State into the 18-yard box. The ball is headed back by Eastern Michigan and goes across the face of goal. Holland went diving for it, but it goes out of bounds, last touched by the Eagles.
Yeah, that might have been an own goal opportunity there as
Yeah.
that goes off in the EMU defender's head. But right now, this Ball State offense is in a real slump, kind of like a baseball player. They're doing everything the way they always do it. It's just not working out.
There's that baseball reference, and there's a header that goes in front of goal off the quickly taken short corner for Ball State. They'll have back-to-back now, into double digits in terms of corners for the Cardinals. This is number 10, and they still haven't put one between the pipes. Addie Chester lines it up. She's got Millis there for the short corner if she wants. Millis backs away as Chester raises the left hand. Here is the service. Driven ball low. A skipper. It's right in front of the face of goal. Now the cleanup duty. Ball State can't get a shot off. And eventually Eastern Michigan clears the danger. Well handled by the EMU squad on the defensive side. Pressure not off yet. Chester tries to thread it between two defenders, but she can't beat the third. D'Ambra touches it out of bounds, and it will be a Ball State throw on the offensive third. Now Kira Verberg checks in for Ball State. She will replace Acadia Murphy. 20 minutes, 40 seconds to play here in half number 2. All of a sudden, Ball State has us on the edge of our seats. A couple of attacking chances in a row. Can they put one between the woodwork and strike first? Here's a ball to the top with Chester. Looping ball just out of bounds. I'm surprised we didn't see a greater reaction that time from Ella Holland. Maybe she didn't even see the shot get off, but that was just a few inches away from the pipe.
Well, when I first saw the angle of attack there from Addie Chester, I thought there was no way she could put a good shot on goal, but she managed to kind of get that one to curve on the ground, and it just missed the right side of the post there.
The windows here at the Briner Sports Complex press box fogged up. Rain all over the glass. It is a sloppy day, but it's made for fun soccer. Eastern Michigan off the goal kick, loses possession back to Ball State. Resettling it is Kira Verberg here on the near side. She just checked in for the Cards. Now Audrey Goodyear tries to send it forward to Maya Millis, who's kind of pushed up a little farther in this second half. Again, just trying to spread out the offense, create more shot opportunities. Now Eastern Michigan with the ball at their feet. It's Sarah Van Ewen. She sends it forward to Megan Lakowski. Lakowski drops it back here on the near side to Maddock. Maddock sends it forward. She finds Lakowski again in what is a triangle. Eastern Michigan maintaining maybe one of their best possessions here of the match as it drops to the foot of Hannah Thompson. Working right in front of us here at the press box around midline. And a ball sent too high was headed down by Sakura Johnson, but much to the chagrin of Eastern Michigan, there was nobody in the neighborhood. They're able to win it back quickly, though, with just under 19 minutes to play. Briner Sports Complex starting to get tense. Will we see a goal, or will Eastern Michigan go 2 straight with a 0-0 draw? Cardinals have yet to tie this season. They had a lot of momentum heading into today's match after the win against Akron earlier this week. That was just on Thursday, so a few days ago. Goal kick out of bounds now for Ball State after the long ball was played for Eastern Michigan and not picked up. Abby Jenkins sends it forward for the Cardinals. Nobody able to retain possession for Ball State right now as it goes out of bounds, last touched by the team in white. It'll be an EMU throw, far side, right around midline. Ball is touched down by Jeffers. Now here's a deep shot from Eastern Michigan. And not a lot to work with there for Abby Jenkins. She just kind of had to make a little bit of a hop to bring that ball down. But I don't hate that from Eastern Michigan, just trying to pepper Jenkins as much as they can. Hannah Thompson up the middle of the pitch. She's able to shake one defender 3 now. She's got a lot of space. She's got a player to her left, dribbles to the top of the 18-yard box, shows off the fancy footwork, tries to touch it to her left, goes down in the 18, is able to touch it out. Now Eastern Michigan looks for a shot. It's across the face of goal, and it finds the side netting again. My goodness, that's the best chance we've seen in terms of play development from Eastern Michigan.
It is. It's the best possession towards attack we've seen all day from them. The problem there, Sam, is they had so many people back on defense that there just weren't numbers, and that was kind of a do-it-yourself play. And if Eastern Michigan had been able to get a couple more players in the attack, that might have proved fruitful.
It was Josie Langhans on the far side making the run for EMU, trying to create a shot opportunity. She did have that shot, but nonetheless, it did not amount to much for EMU. Now Ball State trying to attack the other way. Far side, up the touchline. Ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Scarlett Thomas for the Eagles. Throw-in is quickly taken. Addie Chester has to track it down. She goes about 20 yards deeper than she wanted to as she tries to send in a service from deep, but it's deflected out of bounds by Hannah Thompson. Ball State another throw. 16.5 to play in half number 2. No score between the Cardinals and the Eagles. Sam Neiger, Evan Stowell with you here on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. In the deluge of rain that has been this Sunday afternoon. EMU, far side, clears the danger for the moment. Finds the feet of Sophia Bowman. Bowman loses possession, able to create a give-and-go opportunity nonetheless, but Ball State is able to win the ball back, at least for the moment. My goodness, no team seems to want the ball for more than 20 seconds at a time. Eastern Michigan will try and right that ship here, building out of the back. They'll drop it back to their goalkeeper, Ella Holland. And Holland will see if she can't settle things down in direct traffic. Sarah Van Ewen, the central defender, sends it forward up the near side. EMU working up the right side. There's a nice ball forward. Running onto it for the Eagles is Mary Grimes. Grimes unable to get a foot on it for more than just a couple of seconds, so she loses it out of bounds, and it'll be a Ball State throw.
Yeah, back and forth has been the story of this second half. Attacks from both of these teams. Neither of them have had a really strong attack where we've seen the keepers been tested, though. I'm going to be interested to see if either of these teams can find a way to break through.
Now 15.5 to play. Still scoreless between Ball State and Eastern Michigan. Quite a few shots from each side, 11 for Ball State to 8 from Eastern Michigan. But EMU has put 5 of their 8 shots on goal. They have tested the keepers in Konopatsky and Jenkins. Can they get one to slip through, though? Ball State with possession on the far side at about midline. EMU skies a ball high. It's brought down with ease by Hannah Thompson. Thompson creates a little space with her first touch. Now sends it to the far side. There's some space over there for Megan Lukowski. Lukowski sets it up, dribbles towards the top of the 18. Ball State able to track back on defense, and it finds the feet of Thompson again. Thompson trying to work against 2 defenders. She has some freedom. She has a shot and a great save. Diving by Abby Jenkins. My goodness, we are still level. A great bit of work, physical play from Hannah Thompson. She had to muscle off some of those Ball State defenders to even get that shot off from the top of the 18. And from right up Broadway, she had anywhere to go with it. A stellar save nonetheless from Abby Jenkins. Eastern Michigan awarded a corner as a result. 14.5 to play. Short corner taken by the Eagles. Here is the service to the top of the 6-yard box. First touch on it is from Ball State, and it's played away. Eastern Michigan still has the ball in the offensive third. A reservice this time to the top of the 18. Nobody there. Ball State can't seem to get a touch on it for more than a second. Eastern Michigan still pouring on the pressure as the ball drops back once again to the foot of Mary Grimes. Grimes sends it forward again, and it's touched out of bounds. Ball State can breathe once more. It has been a couple of minutes of just Eastern Michigan putting on the pressure. Here comes the throw from Mary Grimes, near side, working into the attacking third. She's able to find the foot of Thompson. Thompson tries to play it towards the outside. It's with Maddie O'Farrell. O'Farrell just outside the 18. Touches it forward to Thompson. Thompson with an angle. Plays a one more ball. Here's going to come a shot, and it's deflected away after Sakura Johnson couldn't get a good angle. Eastern Michigan still pushing forward. It feels like this might be the breaking point. Can the Cardinals hold on? Here's a service across the face of goal. Headed away by Ball State. Now outside by the 18-yard box, just on the edge. A player goes down just outside the box. Eastern Michigan, one more service, and it goes out of bounds. This time it'll be a Ball State goal kick. Finally, the Cardinals have some built-in possession, but it appears the official ruled that is a Ball State. It was Ball State who last touched the ball, and so it's going to be an Eastern Michigan corner, but not before a stoppage of the clock to check on an injured player. Looked like Kaylin Velo just got the wind knocked out of her. She's on her feet as Eastern Michigan sets up the corner from the far side of the pitch. 13 minutes, 16 seconds to play. No score. Setting up the short corner is Eastern Michigan. Hannah Thompson lines it up. She's going to have the service to the top of the 6-yard box. It's short. Ball State there to wrap up the damage for at least a minute. Eastern Michigan still has possession. Is this going to be the one as they dribble towards the touchline? A service in front of goal, too high, too far, and it's going to slide out of bounds. Doesn't even find the out of bounds line in terms of the end line. Instead, it goes coast to coast along that end line, and it's going to go out for a Ball State throw.
Yeah, Sam, and finally an opportunity for this Cardinals team to breathe. They took out Emily Roper and Addie Chester at the same time, and since those two have come out of the game, they have struggled to keep possession for more than 2 passes.
And you have to wonder if that change isn't going to be reversed by Josh Reif here in the near future. A scary couple of segments from the Ball State defense. Credit to Eastern Michigan, though. That was our best string of attacks we've seen from either side really all day. We haven't seen pressure and possession like that all afternoon. Cardinals lose possession again quickly off the corner, right at about midfield. Ball is played forward to our impact player, Olivia Sipsock. Sipsock plays it outside. Now it's at the foot of Sam Linehan. Linehan near the touchline, pressured by Verberg. She plays it forward to Maddie O'Farrell. O'Farrell gets a quick check from Audrey Goodyear, and that hip check awards a free kick for Eastern Michigan with 12.5 to play.
The last 5 minutes, EMU has looked like the superior squad when it comes to being on the ball. They've had really good possession. As you mentioned, the best build-up and attack we have seen this entire game. So we'll see if EMU can continue to pile on the pressure, because right now Ball State is just barely bending and not breaking.
The Eagles have caught Ball State off guards as here comes the service from Robinson. About 10 yards outside the 18-yard box, and Ball State's able to clean up with a little tidier this time. EMU puts it back in play one more time. Not a lot of players there on defense for Ball State, and that is great awareness from Abby Jenkins to come out and snag that ball before any EMU player could get a foot on it. Shanky very much, says Eastern Michigan after the poor punt from Abby Jenkins, but Kira Verberg is still able to get a foot on it first. Now it's with Maya Millis on the near side. Ball State trying to find any sort of offenses at this point, but not for long as EMU is able to win it back. Touched forward, the Cardinals regain possession with Caitlin Frazier. She's checked back into the game as she sends it forward to Verberg. Verberg up the near side. Not the touch she wanted at first, but she's still pouring on the pressure and forces the ball to be soared out of bounds by Sam Lanahan for a Ball State throw.
And this is what makes soccer so exciting. There's no timeouts, there's no breaks, so if you start getting out of shape, there's nothing your coach can do about it other than get a couple of new subs in that he talked to on the sideline, because right now the Cardinals just look all out of sync, especially offensively.
Well, it does seem that that Josh Reif wants to make as many subs as possible. Caldwell's back in. Fenchel's back in.
Chester's back in.
That's big. Ansley Schofel comes back in for Ball State. She's going to be the one who takes the throw for Ball State. Emily Roper back on the pitch as well. So after a scary 5 or so minutes, Ball State says, let's reset with our starters here for the last final push. Ball's played forward for the Cardinals, and already you can see a little more calmness coming over this Cardinals team, knowing that they have their stars back in there.
You know what's been a shock, too? We really haven't mentioned Delaney Caldwell's name at all in this second half. Our impact player.
Yeah, it has not been Caldwell's second half, to say the least. Caldwell has just 2 shots on the day, 1 shot on goal. To Ball State's credit, though, they have gotten a lot of players involved on the offensive side. It's Fenchel fighting forward at around midfield. She loses it to Eastern Michigan. Now moving into the attacking half. EMU plays it towards the top of the 18-yard box, but they lose possession after the lost footing from from Josie Lanhans.
And you mentioned it, this Ball State Cardinals team with these fresh subs, and even though they're playing defense right now and EMU is in their defensive third, they just looked a lot more relaxed with the players that they have on the pitch.
Sam Lanahan does the throwing duties for Eastern Michigan. Ball's deflected away off of Caldwell, so another throw in for Eastern Michigan. 10.5 to play here in half number 2. Lanahan sends it in, finds the foot of Kate Robinson. Now here's a shot, and that is just off the money after a great service into the middle. That was our impact player for EMU, Olivia Sipstock. She had a great angle, just couldn't put it in. Ball's deflected away, says the official. Last touch by Ball State, so a solid job in on-ball defending for the Cardinals. Another corner coming up for Eastern Michigan. This will be corner number 7 for the Eagles. It's taken quickly. It is high. The ball's bouncing around right in front of goal. Nobody able to pick it up. Now there's bodies all over the floor, and despite the fact that Jenkins fell, Ball State's defense was able to hold strong, hold down the fort, and with under 10 minutes to go, we are still scoreless.
And I cannot believe that EMU could not capitalize on that right there. Abby Jenkins fell over on her goal line and could not get back up. EMU put 2 shots on goal, but a real horde of Ball State defenders over there able to kick that one and clear it out of bounds.
It was a scrum right in front of that goal line, and nobody was able to pick up the pieces for Eastern Michigan. Ball State survives at the moment, and that's what this has been for the Cardinals in this second half. They are surviving. Whereas they were thriving through maybe the first 15 minutes of this game in the first half, it does not appear to be the same game plan for Ball State as there's a throw-in for Eastern Michigan on the far side. at the 18-yard box extended. Ball's played forward by the Cardinals, but won back by Eastern Michigan. Now Roper has the ball at her feet. Loses it back to EMU. The Eagles send it up the far side into the 18-yard box. Not able to get a touch on it with Sipsock. And Sipsock took down Roper there in the box.
And she got a yellow card as well for it.
Yeah, first yellow card we've seen for Eastern Michigan. Second of the game. We saw one to Jordan Jeffers of Ball State earlier. And really, Sipsock is known as more of a flashier forward. She's not going to play as physical maybe as some of those other players. But,
especially against Emily Roper,
exactly.
Who's probably the most physical player on this Ball State side.
Exactly. Inside, 9 minutes to play. 0-0. Do we have a goal in the offing, or are we going to remain with a 0-0 draw? Ball's won back by the Cardinals. Not for long. It seems that the ball is just coming off the foot of both of these teams a little harder than they expected with that extra weight added from the rain. It is not coming down as hard as it was earlier. In fact, the rain has almost completely stopped. The umbrellas have come down in the stands here at Briner Sports Complex as Ball State is awarded a free kick. Troops are sent forward from Audrey Goodyear, who sends a booming free kick, just trying to get the ball back in the offensive third for the Cardinals. Off the foot of Roper, she touches it down, finds the foot of Caitlin Frazier. Frazier touches it to the outside on the right side, and Eastern Michigan wins it back. Now on the far side of the pitch, closer to McGalliard Road, Eastern Michigan, it's their left side of the field, Ball State's right side of the field. It's a throw in for Eastern Michigan, but not before a sub. 8 minutes to play.
And Sam, so far in this second half, the thing the Cardinals are lacking in that attacking third is any bit of technicality. They're just kind of booting it, one-touching everything. That first touch is so important when you have so many defenders around you. And right now the Cardinals are giving it away on probably half their first touches.
Eastern Michigan doesn't even allow Ball State a first touch off this throw-in. The possession has been a lot more impressive. Now streaking back for Ball State is Below. Tries to clear the danger. Played back in by Eastern Michigan on the near side at the top of the 18. Able to get a foot on it is Acadia Murphy. Murphy sends it to the outside. Last touch by Eastern Michigan. Another Ball State throw. 7 minutes, 38 seconds to play. The offenses have not been stagnant. There have been chances for both sides. Great goalkeeping work from both squads, and the limiting of mistakes despite the weather has been the story. EMU has had some great communication over the past 20 minutes or so. They are starting to get into their groove as Sakura Johnson switches play over to the far side of the pitch. Sophia D'Ambra has checked back into the game. She gets a touch, but loses it to Addie Chester. Chester now has moved back over to the right side of the pitch after starting the second half on the left side. She plays the ball forward to Caitlin Frazier, but it's a little too far in front of her, not able to run onto it. Eastern Michigan wins it back. Sipsock heads the ball backwards, but the official stops the play and awards a free kick.
Looks like they're going to give them offsides here, which is pretty unique because it's like barely past half field. So EMU's going to get caught offsides. That's the first time today the Cardinals have got them. Good job there by the back line.
Yeah, almost 30 yards outside the 18-yard box, just based on my guesstimation. As the ball's headed forward by Roper, it falls to the feet of Ball State, and able to come forward and make the save was Holland after what was a bang-bang kind of play. Avery Fenchel was the one they were trying to get the touch. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left to play. Ball State and Eastern Michigan, two teams that have not had the strongest starts to Mid-American Conference play, trying to turn things around. The Cardinals were already able to do so earlier this week. They notched a 1-0 win against Akron. Eastern Michigan looking for its first conference win. Jeffers clears the danger for Ball State out the far side at just about the 18-yard box. The pace of play starting to pick up. The urgency is definitely there. And a sliding play out of bounds for Jeffers to save a corner kick. Instead, it's a throw-in quickly taken by Eastern Michigan near the corner. Now the ball's played to the top of the 18. Over on the far side in the corner, Sakura Johnson has the service. Diving out is Abby Jenkins. She punches it away. Ball State not able to clear the danger yet. Jenkins gets back to her line. Eastern Michigan now towards the far side corner. They'll slow the pace of play down and tries to send a ball in, but a nice sliding tackle by Jordan Jeffers to deflect the ball away. Possession still sits with Eastern Michigan. We talked about the frustration from this Ball State team letting the ball into the 18-yard box too much in the first half. Well, it's probably doubled here in the second half. Is able to spin away that time as Sam Lanahan creates some space. Now here to the near side. Touches it out to Maddie O'Farrell towards the touchline, and the ball is played out of bounds, last touched by the Cardinals. Ball State prepares to make a couple of substitutions. Quick throw in taken from Eastern Michigan. Settling down on the ball is Sam Lanahan. And she touches it out of bounds a little too steep on that final touch, and she plays it out of bounds for what will be a Ball State goal kick.
Yeah, and the Ball State goal kick comes at a great time with about 4 minutes left in this game. The Ball State Cardinals need kind of a break because they've actually been on their back foot so far here in the last 10 minutes. They've looked like the inferior squad for pretty much the first time in the second half.
Maya Millis checks in for what was probably a gassed Jordan Jeffers. She's played a heck of a game here in the second half as the clock restarts after the substitution with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play. Ball's played forward by Roper. She finds Addie Chester. Ball State trying to regain any sort of possession that they might have had in the first 15 minutes. It has been a stagnant offensive half for Ball State as Chester wins the ball up the middle of the pitch. She's got 2 defenders in front of her, tries to play it forward on the give and go, but unable to get there as Fenchel just led her a little too much, and it falls into the hands of Holland.
Yeah, good idea in the right-looking pass there. Just played it a little too hard on the ground. Fenchel couldn't get to it.
These teams trying to be as technical as possible here in the next 4.5 minutes. Want to limit the mistakes as much as possible. 0-0, but you still want to capitalize when the opportunities are presented to you. Neither squad wants to go away with a draw, but that would feel like more of a win for Eastern Michigan, a team that has struggled over the past decade against Ball State. This is one that the Cardinals had circled on the calendar as a probable win, and they wanted to go out and perform in front of their home crowd on Alumni Day. But nonetheless, it is still 0-0 with inside 4 minutes to play. Eastern Michigan ball up the far side of the pitch. Ball State just trying to clear the danger. They send it forward. It's picked up by Scarlett Thompson. Thomas sends it forward to Hannah Thompson. Now she has some space up the left side. She sends a ball into the middle. It's our impact player, Sipsock. Sipsock tries the shot, and it's deflected away again. My goodness, Abby Jenkins. How about the day she's having here in the second half?
Yeah, Grace Konopowski didn't have much to do there in that first half, but in the second half, Abby Jenkins has been fantastic in goal. She's made a couple of tough saves, and that one right there was the best of the lot.
Well, Ball State does certainly like to make that change at halftime, only give Konopowski 1 half of play. And Eastern Michigan recognized that Jenkins is maybe not as accustomed to playing as much. This is just her 4th appearance on the year, so they've decided to pepper her with a lot more shots. The ball is dropped, and the free kick is taken by Jenkins as she sends it forward to Chester, who just loses her footing over the ball. Not able to hold on to possession with 3 minutes to play here in the match. 0-0 between Ball State and Eastern Michigan. Another chance for EMU. Sent forward. Ball State nearly loses possession with Delaney Ahern. Ahern is able to send it forward to Roper. Roper now touches it to the far side with Frazier. Frazier plays the ball forward, looking for Chester. Chester unable to win it, and EMU gets it back, but a nice interception that time by Roper. Roper finds Fenchel. Fenchel with 3 defenders in front of her. On a nice forward ball to Caldwell, and her first touch was too strong with a defender at her back, but the official has stopped play. My goodness, he's going to whistle for a free kick. The official is going forward to take the ball away from Holland, and the official just blew a penalty kick. Immediately, you saw that Eastern Michigan was up in arms about it, and they are currently all in the box standing in front of the penalty spot trying to appeal this to the official. But the ruling right now, it appears, Evan, is that we are going to have a penalty kick.
Yeah, I saw Delaney Caldwell turn around and motion her hand to the official, saying that she got grabbed on that play and pulled back. It did look like the through ball initially was going to sneak in through to her. It's almost like a pass interference in football. It was just kind of holding on that play.
Can you believe this? The entire Eastern Michigan squad is lined up in front.
This is a free kick?
This is a free kick inside the 18. It's touched backwards. It was an indirect kick, and the whole wall was there for EMU, so it was not a penalty kick. It was indirect with 1.5 minutes to play as the drama builds. Ball's played out of bounds. It's going to be a Ball State throw. Can you believe this? I haven't seen that
ever.
I thought it was a mass protest from EMU.
I thought it was too.
To be a wall.
They blew the whistle. I couldn't believe it.
Clock is stopped with 1 minute and 28 seconds to play. Officials just trying to communicate some last-minute things as our impact player, Delaney Caldwell, is going to head to the bench. Ball State looking for more offensive firepower, some fresher legs. Can they not notch a last-minute winner? Roper comes forward. She's taken to the ground. Now a shot from distance from Frazier, just trying to test the waters against Holland, who has had a stellar day. She boots it away. First to touch it is Roper. Roper touches it to Fenchel. Fenchel to the outside. towards the 18-yard box, right on the corner. Chester's not able to hold on to it. All of a sudden, the roles have reversed, and Ball State is pouring on the pressure, but EMU wins it back. Now with some space in front of Hannah Thompson, she crosses midfield. Over on the left side towards the touchline. She touches it into the middle. Now with the ball at her foot is Sipsock. Olivia Sipsock, she's our impact player, turns it back out to the outside. Eastern Michigan has Scarlett Thomas on the ball now towards the touchline. Goal on the extended 18-yard box line on the far side. Towards the corner. She tries to play it in. It's deflected away. Last-ditch efforts for both sides. 40 seconds up on the clock. Over towards the touchline. Ball has not gone out of bounds. Cardinals just trying to survive. Instead, they give up possession. Sakura Johnson has the field in front of her. Tries to serve it in, and it's deflected away. Last touch by Acadia Murphy. A nice last-ditch effort. Eastern Michigan moving quickly. Has the ball back in play. Plays it towards the corner. 20 seconds. Cardinals send it out of bounds again. It's another EMU throw. 17 seconds to play. In one of the craziest last 2 minutes you will see. 10 seconds on the clock now. One last chance for Eastern Michigan. Deflected away to the top of the 18. Do they have a chance? Lanahan sends it away. Nobody's able to bring it down. 4 seconds left. One last shot. It's sent to the 18. Jenkins hauls it down as time expires. Does 0-0 get any better than that? Cardinals, Eagles, draw from Briner Sports Complex. My goodness. And the beautiful game surprises us as always. Can you believe those last 2 minutes, Evan?
I really can't.
That was one of the most exciting finishes to a match I have seen in my tenure here at Ball State. That was just stellar across the board.
I can't believe this game was 0-0 at the end of it. It didn't feel like it. There was action the whole time. On that foul at the end, we both think there's a penalty kick. It turns out to be an indirect free kick because I think she got fouled before she had the ball. So they called it a foul in the box, but it was an indirect free kick. There was a 10-person wall there. Every player on Eastern Michigan was back there, and then they go back the other way. EMU with the last-second shot. It doesn't get much better than that. We had rain. We didn't have rain. We had rain. It got sunny all of a sudden. It was fantastic weather. It was a great game. I got to tell you, you talked about it a little bit, but 0-0 for Eastern Michigan coming out of an away game at the Briner Sports Complex feels like a win. For Ball State, this has to feel like a loss.
Yeah, the Cardinals maybe not as happy with this finish as Eastern Michigan was. Their next game is a week from today on October 6th. That's family weekend, but it's against one of the premier squads in the Mid-American Conference against Buffalo. That is going to be a tall test for the Cardinals. Eastern Michigan also off until next Sunday. Their next game is at home in Ypsilanti against Miami of Ohio. As we take a look at our final stat line here on SL Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie, it was Ball State, all Ball State in the first half, but Eastern Michigan ended up outshooting the Cardinals 13-12. They outshot the Cardinals in terms of shots on goal 8-3. Ball State did win the margin in terms of corner kicks 11-7. 11 corner kicks for the Cardinals and still no goals. A yellow card apiece, 8 fouls apiece. And really, when you take a look at that stat line, it's no secret as to why this game ended in a draw.
Yeah, the story that stat line tells us is that Ball State did not take advantage of the opportunities provided to them. They had a lot of set pieces. They had a lot of corners, as you talked about, and they really weren't able to do anything with it. I wouldn't be surprised if for Coach Josh Reif, that's something they want to focus on heading into the next week, especially in practice, because you need to be able to take advantage of the times where you get the dead ball stops and you have an opportunity to set up a play you want. They could not take advantage of that. I want to shout out the goalkeeper, though, Jenkins, for the Cardinals. The senior from Fisher did a fantastic job. She made some really big saves there in the second half and is the reason the Cardinals were able to walk away with a 0-0 tie.
Well, Jenkins was stellar. Ella Holland was stellar for Eastern Michigan. In the first half, it was Grace Konopatsky who was great for the Cardinals, and clean sheets across the board. So the goalkeepers are happy, at least, as we take a look at what our impact players did. Olivia Sipsock for Eastern Michigan, she was all over the stat sheet. 5 shots, 3 shots on goal, and a yellow card. Really a solid day for her, but Delaney Caldwell didn't even finish the game on the pitch for Ball State. 2 shots, 1 shot on goal, so really, Ball State shared the love a little more, but Eastern Michigan and Olivia Sipsock are going to be pretty happy with how they performed today.
What EMU did really well in guarding Chester and Caldwell was having those 2 midfielders drop back as almost a 5th and 6th defender at times and really narrow those wings down and create this thing where they'd kind of collapse into the center backs. That was really smart defense from EMU. And then on the other side of things, Sipsock did a really good job finding those pockets where she could get in behind the defense. Good through balls, really good at her feet. She was fantastic.
Well, if today was any indicator of what's going to happen next week in what is going to be a marquee matchup between Ball State and Buffalo, you're definitely going to want to tune in. Until then, that's going to do it from us here at the Briner Sports Complex. What a finish. Despite the 0-0 scoreline, I've been Sam Neiger. He's been Evan Stowell. We thank you for joining us on a rainy Sunday afternoon. 0-0 between the Cardinals of Ball State and the Eagles of Eastern Michigan. Until then, we'll catch you on the flip side on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.